Welcome to Tuber Chat. Whether you're working on your first 1,000, 2,000, or even 10,000 subscribers and beyond, you've come to the right place. We're going to introduce you to some of the most influential content creators that can help to get your channel moving beyond your first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. The very first channel that we're looking at today is a longtime friend, somebody who is obviously a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter, like all of the channels that we feature at the beginning of our streams. Native Wildman has a lot of information on their About section. Sean Wilson will tell us about himself and what we can expect from the channel, including fishing, fly tying, knives, artisan tea blends, and more. A lot of stories and conversation on the channel. He's working on 1,200 subscribers right now, and when we look through his front page, you get an idea of the different things he's talking about while he's drinking artisan tea. You guys can tell me if it's artisan or art. I've been saying artisan for as long as I can remember, and I still haven't got a grasp on which one is correct. But that's okay. We'll continue to learn from Native Wildman. I'll take his latest video, put that into my catch-up list. That'll give me a chance to catch up with him. I use playlists like that to keep caught up with creators or get caught up with them when I fall behind. He's got a premiere coming up this afternoon as well, so that's going to be about a half an hour after our copyright-free music stream, which will raid into and run right after Tuber Chat. Pardon me, for an hour. That'll give us some extra time to connect tonight. Native Wildman has some shorts on his channel, mostly outdoor content, and already doing well. 3,000, 5,000, almost 6,000 there, and one over 10,000 views. And then when we look at live streams, we see that Native Wildman is live frequently. I've been able to catch them a few times lately, and they just did one a couple days ago, so we expect them to be on usually at least once a week. So hopefully everybody will connect with Native Wildman and push them towards that 1,200 subscribers we know that they're thinking about. And I got quite a few names on the wheel to get us started for today. Scratch and PPA, I missed his premiere today, but he is in the top position on the wheel as usual. He is known as a shining jewel in the Tuber Chat family. Our moderators here are some of the most supportive creators that I've met in my now 8 years on YouTube. Canadian Family Life is right up there beside Scratch and PPA. And then we've got a lot of members in the house as well. Crafty Witch 232 and Create and Relate were both early in the doors. Nancy Perrin Ministries is here. Vima's Crochet, and yes, Michelle Crochets are both here. Crafting Enthusiast and Cricket Cinema are all on the wheel. I know Consume the Goodness is in the house. Sweet Melissa Coastal Girl 707 is here, as well as Dutchfly 61, who's a longtime friend from the Netherlands. Rushing Wind Mountain is from the Pacific Northwest. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Cruising is Fun Anytime, Jeremy and Cheryl. They got a handful of channels, and I'm really excited about the latest one. Jeremy's got one, I believe it's called Hats on a Mission, where they're doing some community service kind of ideas. Diamond Painting Cutie is here. The Confident Quilter, Gladys L. Paul, is also in the house. Rainy Ridge has just made it in. And I'm going to make sure our members get onto the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. I've already spun, so Cricket Cinema is going to be the first channel that we look at right now. They're fairly new in the Tuber Chat family, and we'll get their channel ready to go. I can see they're using AI systems for their thumbnails, but doing a really good job over here. And then, pardon me, Rainy Ridge, I did say I was going to get onto the wheel right now. And even though we put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat, I will add names to our wheel from our chat list, and it's always based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation over the course of the stream. It should be about 3 hours. Anfield Road Layout in the Loft has been here daily lately, and I appreciate that. We're usually on 3 times a week. We mix up the days and times, of course. And Twinbrook Acres is sneaking in. Good to see you here. And when we look at Cricket Cinema, this is a channel I'm still getting to know, but they're letting us know art, music, and some activism. That's a Freudian slip from my video game days as a teenager. Activism as opposed to Activision. And then when we look at Cricket Cinema, we see actually they've got a premiere coming up in another hour from now. So we'll still be on, but we know that there's fresh content on their channel coming up. And then they've got a new video from a couple of days ago. I thought I saw this one, but maybe I saw the one before it. I'm going to rerun this one because I must have gone back for the comment and my red line is not all the way across. So I'm going to put that one in my catch-up list. I didn't clean it out. It's still there. And then I'll put another video here into my catch-up list. And like I said, that's the playlist I use to keep or get caught up with creators. Forgive me for anything I'm missing in the chat, but hopefully everybody's feeling welcome. And then we are going to look at this creators community page. They've already got that going. They've got a few playlists already set up, which is great to see. And then we'll be hoping for more content soon enough. They're already over 500 subscribers. That's an exciting and important milestone in everybody's YouTube journey, but we'd love to push them towards the 600 we know they must be thinking about. Yoshi family and The Source, good to see you both. Thank you for coming in. We're moving faster than we usually do for the beginning of a stream, so thank you everybody for coming in. And Canadian Family Life is the next channel we're going to look at. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. New Horizons Above and Beyond, good to see you in the house. It's interesting that we're looking at Canadian Family Life right now. One of the thumbnails here, I just watched this video. I often will say here in Tuber Chat, just out of fun, that, you know, I could cook to save my life, but nothing I do is fantastic. But one of the things I make often is chicken parmesan. I've never done it the way that they did here. They do it in a pan as opposed to in the oven. I always do it that way. So I might try their Tiffany's recipe here. They've got a new video out now for their container garden. I talk about this frequently. This is essentially a homesteading channel from New Brunswick. The whole family gets involved. They're hopping in and out of all the videos, live streams, as well as shorts. And then Canadian Family Life is going to bring us food bank grocery hauls, a lot more cooking videos. Her husband has a channel as well where he does 3D printing and works on some solar equipment like what we're seeing right here. And then more do-it-yourself videos. I'll leave it to you to find that when you get over there, but Tiffany is also going to do a lot of Happy Mail shout-outs for other creators and things like that. She did a great job over Christmas. I know it's a few months ago now, but she added a lot of different types of content here. And then she's got some shorts on the channel as well. These have done great in the outdoor content more than anything else, getting into 2,000, 3,000, even 5,000, and on the way to 6,000 views now. And then live streams. Tiffany's usually on once every month or two, so we'll be expecting another live stream in the coming weeks. And this channel is one of the fastest growing that we have seen in the Tuber Chat family. I believe the biggest reason for that is because Tiffany is so supportive to other creators and always has been. They got to their 3,000 subscribers in barely over a year, and they continue to grow now. So hopefully everybody will connect with Canadian Family Life. And like I said, another beloved and dedicated moderator, as well as a member here. And let's spin the wheel. We got another channel ready to go. Pardon me, Huga Homestead, good to see you here. And then, yes, hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. I try to be there for all of Scratch and PA's premieres, but essentially I miss a couple every year. Hopefully not more than a handful. He is perfectly consistent. Every Tuesday, 12:15 Eastern, without fail. As a matter of fact, some of us have alarms on our phones and even text each other to make sure we don't miss it. Still today I missed it. So I'm going to put that into my catch-up list as well. And what Scratch and PA does in his content is puts an interesting twist on lottery ticket scratching, where he pits two different tickets against each other and then offers us the opportunity to vote on the content of next week's video if we follow him on Instagram, X, or Facebook, which of course I do. It sets his series apart, makes it unique and a lot of fun to be a part of. And then if you can catch us for one of his premieres, you're going to find one of the fastest rolling chats in the Tuber Chat family. Faster than this here in Tuber Chat Chat faster than most others. He rivals those of Hilda DC, The Stock Explorer, Garden State Gardener, and a few other channels, which makes it very fast-paced, very high energy, and a lot of fun to be a part of. You can see that presentation is always at the forefront of his mind. His bright, bold, and beautiful avatar is matched by content in his thumbnails, which give us a hint about the giveaways also that happen in his video series. And then his banner's updated every week, if you can imagine that, and his video editing skills have been complimented ever since his very first production over 4.5 years ago. Now, Scratch and PPA is a fellow Canadian, of course, and monetized. Lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships when we get there. He's got some shorts on the channel from a trip he took to Italy last year, where he brought us vlogging style shorts that give us an idea about all the different areas he visited, and some Italian lottery tickets to go along with them. Then a live stream, his first ever, from Italy, and this is really cool. I was lucky to have been there, where he's, and look at that, he's got the second phone out too. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. Which is cool for anybody that does outdoor live streams. I was new at this many years ago as well, and had to learn all the different tricks and come up with some of our own things. But if you're streaming outdoors, it helps to have a second phone if you can, because you can read the chat on one while you're carrying the other phone around. And then if you're somebody like me whose vision is not perfect, it makes it a lot easier to handle the stream. But Pete did a great job, especially for a very first production, and I know a lot of people will be excited to know he's expanded the content on his channel. So hopefully everybody will connect with Canadian Family Life and Scratch and PPA. They are both beloved and dedicated moderators here, as well as members. And then we'll spin the wheel and get to our next channel. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Next up is another channel I'm still getting to know. Vima's Crochet is fairly new in the Tuber Chat family. Creatures of the Maroon Lagoon. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And I thought I missed another channel, P&J's Homestead Adventure. They happen to be a member, so I'm going to put them onto our wheel. That's Paula and Jason. We always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. And then, Canadian Family Life. I've experimented with a few different ideas, but I literally have reminders for a few people. And then when possible, I hop in there if I can. Twinbrook Acres, good to see you here if I didn't already say hello. And I know I say it a million times, so hopefully I haven't missed anybody. And then when we look at the screen, we see Vima's Crochet is up right now. And like I said, this is a channel I'm still getting to know. It's really interesting because in the early days of Tuber Chat, you can imagine we're getting on close to 5 years. The next month, it'll be 5 years. And there has been some change in our community, in our family, where we have seen influxes of channels. Many people will remember that we didn't have any travel or cruising content for a few years, and then all of a sudden we got this influx a couple of years ago now with especially cruising channels, but a lot of travel channels as well. In the very early days of Tuber Chat, within the first year, a lot of homesteading channels started to come in. These are huge genres. Lottery ticket scratching is a huge genre as well. And lately, a lot of crochet. And I've seen a lot of this before, even up to probably 4 years ago and a little bit longer. But lately, a lot of the crochet community has been coming through here, and I'm grateful for the word of mouth that everybody is giving each other to send new friends in here, because it's happening all the time, obviously. And BH Road Stories, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Sweet Acres Koi Farm, thanks for keeping that membership going. I'm going to get your name right onto the wheel. Of course, we always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. And like I said, I'm still getting to know this channel, but this is Vima's Crochet. So she's got quite a bit of information on the About section, where we're going to find a wide range of crochet tutorials, patterns, and inspirations so that she can help others improve their skills at crochet, which is great to see. I'm just going to grab the latest video here. You can see the beautiful things that she makes on her channel. I've said this from the beginning of Tuber Chat, but I'm always impressed with anybody who is doing creative things on their channel, especially things that I do not do, right? So anybody can likely learn to crochet, right? And we got a lot of friends that are going to teach people. I don't happen to do it. I'm creative in other ways, but I'm fascinated when I see people making beautiful things like this. I had at least one relative, grandmother, but I think there was more than one that used to, I should pull one out one day and see if I can find one. The hangers that you use to hang your clothes in your closet or your jackets and things like that. I'm not sure if it's crochet exactly, but they would make these beautiful, what looks like crochet all around the hangers. And I thought that was really cool. We've got lots of these. I never remember what these are called. If this is what I'm thinking of, where you put it on the table, you can put a pot on it. But we had a lot of crocheted of those around. My other grandmother used to knit us all kinds of stuff, like hats and mitts and everything, and I'd lose them all when I was a kid. I know that drove her nuts, but it's nice to see Vima's Crochet here with a lot of other crafting and crocheting friends with channels showing us the beautiful things that they're making, because I do find this stuff to be fascinating. So shorts on the channel as well, and these are now starting to get into over 1,000 views, which is great to see. And Vima's Crochet is working on 1,600 subscribers, so we'd love to push her a little bit closer to that milestone. Blessed to Crochet is in the house. I'm going to get their channel onto the wheel. And Together We Travel is with us. They're a longtime generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And then Mr. Fulton Mraz always has interesting news. Unfortunately, that's not great news, but hopefully you're doing okay, Mr. Fulton Mraz, and our thoughts and prayers are going to be with you and them. Homebody Trish, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. I believe you've been here before, but forgive me if I'm mistaken, and if this is your first time here, I hope you're feeling welcome. And then let's spin the wheel. We're moving really fast today. We're getting through a lot of channels. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. And then Crafting Enthusiast up on the screen right now is somebody who's here with us regularly, and I appreciate that, of course. Now, this is Autumn. I learned that on the last live stream. I don't know how long she's had it on the About section here, but I looked at it the last time we were doing this here. But she's doing a lot of different things as well. Spinning yarn, knitting, crocheting, cross-stitch, diamond painting, which is what I've seen from her the most. Weaving, and she has a hobby farm, which is really, really cool. I just watched this video. Is it this one? I just watched this video where she pulls out these enormous, I believe they're meant to be diamond painting, and she said, but you have to order the, forgive me, I'm still learning about all this stuff, but the diamonds that you use to paint the stuff with you have to order them separately. But my dear goodness, do those look like a lot of work. And I know I've said that to a few of our friends who are doing this kind of thing. And I think I called it oddly satisfying the other day when I was watching another one of her videos a couple of weeks ago. But really interesting to see the way that people are making different things and the different kinds of art that are out there. Very much like this, it was looking the last time I was talking about that stuff. You can see just the thumbnails alone are showing the beautiful things she's creating. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 50 and 70 views. She'll soon be at 100, I'm sure, as she posts more and more. She's getting close to 800 subscribers, and she is doing live streams, usually about once a week by the look of it. It's been a couple of weeks now, but hopefully we'll see another one, and then I'll catch that one too. We got notification bells on for every single channel, and that's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other as possible as well. Diamond Painting Cutie is here. And again, hopefully, I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I do appreciate all the different things everybody does while they're here. I know we've got some friends in the background that will run the stream if they're working or doing other things. And I do appreciate every moment everybody can spend. I know not everybody can be here every time we stream, and certainly not for 3 hours every single time. We're going to look at Crafty Witch 232 in a second. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. Bella's Whisper Farmstead has come in. That's Kristen. And then Mel Runs Things is here. Budgeting Like a Girl is in the house. So thank you, everybody, for coming in. We're moving faster than we usually do, which is great to see today. And then Crafty Witch 232. Now, this is an interesting combination of creativity on this channel. And I talk about it all the time because it took me a couple of views here to get a grasp on exactly what was happening. There's a mix of crochet and 3D printing together, and a lot of pop culture references here, but you can see that some of this does really, really well. She's gotten into 10,000 views on a couple of these, one over 13,000 now, with, like I said, a lot of pop culture references. And for people of all ages, too, when you think about that, you know, I'm too old for Pokemon, right there for Yoshi and his friends, and of course, Spider-Man's a legend forever and ever. And then live streams. So she's been doing some video gameplay as well as the crafting and crocheting and 3D printing, but I've caught a few of those streams as well. So hopefully I'll catch you for another one. It's been another almost week now, and she's on frequently. You can see every day or every other day. And hopefully everybody will connect with Crafty Witch 232. They're here with us for every stream ever since finding us, for which I'm grateful. They're working on 700 subscribers, and obviously another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And then Living Large with L Crew is in the house. And hopefully I'm not missing anyone. Consume the Goodness, I'm sure I said hello earlier, Kendra. She's been here for a while. And then what we'll do right now, we'll take a break for a few minutes, for about 3.5 minutes. Right before we do that, I'm going to play a clip from our interview series. These are videos now that are on the Tuber Chat channel as a playlist and listed as a podcast. There are 4 episodes up already. I filmed the next 2. They just have to be edited, and then they'll be ready to go. These are extremely informative because the friends that I interviewed, if we want to call it that, they really turn into friendly conversations. They've all been with us for many years, at least 3 years each. They've been through everything we're going through, and they've gone through everything we're going through. They continue to come through today, but they know exactly what we need to hear. The biggest thing I could tell you is all of these creators have long passed their 10,000 subscribers. What do you think led up to that explosion for your channel?
Well, at first the channel was very slow to start, and then it was around the time I met you,
Yeah.
your channel, it started growing a little bit, and then we got to January of last year. We only had we hit our 1,000 subs, and then
Okay.
it was really going slow. In between January to September of
Mm-hmm.
24, we only gained 300 subs.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it was really slow, but we managed to get our watch hours, so we managed to get monetized, things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And we were getting ready to go to do our supply runs for the winter time, and I
Yeah.
said, "Well, I think I'm just gonna film this." We've never done a shopping thing or anything like that, and
Yeah.
I checked it out online, and it showed favorability of doing well.
That's good.
We did it. Only thing I didn't really do is I didn't film a whole lot in the store, and I kinda regret that because I had a lot of people asking about that. They wanted to see
Oh,
the
I see.
comparison, the prices, and honestly, I think what it was is people really curious what it's like to live here and have to shop here, and I think that's what brought everybody in, and it
Right.
exposed us to a lot of other people that are like-minded on living this way or wanting to be curious to be how we live, as well as
Mhm.
the group that just are into shopping. And I guess there's a huge following of people that do shopping videos. And
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I'm not surprised now that you mention it that way. Yes.
yeah, so I think a combination of it being a shopping video and us being rather unique on where and how we get home, you
Yeah,
know, is that
absolutely. Yes.
a lot of the comments on that video were about the train.
Oh.
Was that a bus I just saw on the tracks? Was that a truck on the tracks? Was that a tractor? Stuff like that. And it's like, yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I think it was a combination of the shopping and where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah. I looked off to the side there because I got your channel up on another screen in case I want to reference something. I was about to say the video got 1 million views, but no, you're clearly well beyond 2 million now. I almost forgot to set the super chat goal. I always do that during the first or second break of the stream, and Create and Relate just dropped a super chat, so thank you for that. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. I'm going to put that channel up onto the screen next. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel. But we've still got about 2.5 hours to go, so lots of opportunity to go through lots of channels, and we're actually moving faster than we usually do today, which is great. And then the Queen Before You reacts. Thank you so much for the super chat. Also, I've got you on the in the queue. You'll be up right after Create and Relate, and then Sail Whiskey Dream. Good to see you in the house. I'm hoping we can convince you to hang out and hang on. All of this stuff takes time, and I'm sure by now you've already heard a few people say that. It really is true, and what we find here in our streams and our community is the fact that the more we give to others, the more things seem to move. We're actually seeing channels monetized faster than ever before, growing faster than ever before, because 5 years ago, channels like what we're doing here already existed. It's not my idea. There was hundreds of them, probably thousands over the years. But now that it's all been established, we've got people of the right mindset connected together who truly want to support each other. And you'll hear it in the stories that I tell when I put channels on the screen like Sweet Acres Koi Farm, I'm going to talk about in a second here. So yeah, it takes quite a bit of time, but we've got help here for watch hours. And the biggest part about it is, we talk about watch hours, but the magic behind it is the friendships that are made between creators. Because if you're willing to help other people with their watch hours and they're willing to help you, you will have that friendship and that connection for the rest of your YouTube journey, no matter how many years it's going to be. I hope it's 5, 10, 20, or even more. So these are just ideas. But yeah, it can take a long time, but I promise you, it's a lot easier today. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's easier than when I started 8 years ago. When I started on YouTube, I started by running somebody else's channel. I didn't even start my own for almost a year after. But it took us 6 months to get the first 100 subscribers on that channel. And as it is, the creator behind the channel had to sit on the phone for half an hour with a friend of 20 years, all but begging them to click the subscribe button just to give them the 100. And you can see we've come a long way. So hopefully we can motivate you to continue on and show you that there's a lot of support out there. We just all need to find each other. That's what we're doing here. And then hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Little Red Big Smile might be brand new in the chat for today, so good to have you here. Our instructions are always in our video description to help you get the most out of your time here and help you meet the largest number of friends, if that makes any sense. Although I say that, we're really not after numbers, right? You don't want to go and try to connect with 50 people in one day. You'll end up losing them all tomorrow. But anybody can. If you're focused here on connecting with other creators, you can meet anywhere from 8 to 10 new friends per hour for the time that you spend. And then Carmlin for the win. Carmen, good to see you here. I know we know that channel. I think it's got a slight name change, but I could be mistaken. And then, yeah, Sail Whiskey Dream hopefully will, like I said, hopefully will motivate you to know that there's lots of people out there willing to support each other, and then the object here in these streams is just for us to find each other. And we're on we're on at least a few times a week, 3 times a week. We're going every 3 days lately. I think I'll be able to keep that up for a while. Sweet Acres Koi Farm is up on the screen right now, and it took me a moment. I had to literally go on ChatGPT to ask, is koi actually fish? Because, you wonder about whales and dolphins and, the difference between mammals and different things in the sea, let's just say. And yes, in fact, of course, we've likely all seen koi somewhere or another. It's a staple in a lot of restaurants here in Toronto, or when I grew up in Toronto. I live in Niagara Falls now, but we have things like that, fish tanks and things like that in a lot of different restaurants, and they'll have koi in there, or they'll have a pond literally in the restaurant. That's common as well. But Sweet Acres Koi Farm is going to bring us all the aspects of not only having the koi, but looking after them and all the things that they need. I've got to catch up with their videos. I'm going to take the longer of the two here, just because every minute matters when it comes to the idea of watch hours, of course. I'll put this into my catch-up list. That'll give me a chance to catch up. I use playlists for that reason all the time. Sweet Acres Koi Farm is working on 1,300 subscribers. I'm hoping we can push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. And they've got an interesting statement on their About section here. We're trying to keep it real with no AI assistance. And it's so funny because when I'm living my online life, if you want to call it that, and doing the work that I do, I'm doing the opposite now. I'm like, no, I'm heavily using AI with a human touch is basically somewhere along the idea. And shorts on the channel have gotten into 7,800, 15,000, and live streams over here. They were live yesterday. Hopefully I'll catch them for another one. They seem to be live about once a week. It's interesting the way that AI is coming out and being used all the time. And one of the things we can always remember, I talk about this all the time as well, is that people come to YouTube for things that are real. As a matter of fact, the next creator we're going to hear from today talked about in her interview, Be Amazing Sylvia, the idea that people come for real. When you make mistakes, it's not the worst thing in the world to leave them in. I can tell everybody here personally, my best performing personal video has got all kinds of mistakes. I even took one or two of them out and it still got mistakes in it, but it still is at, I think, 90,000 or something like that views. So it gives us a little bit of reinforcement knowing that perfection is not what people are here for. Consume the Goodness is on the wheel. Also, I added one name. I do that occasionally throughout the stream, usually a little bit more when we get a couple of hours in. It's always based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation, because we know that connecting with other creators is really the goal here. And then Jody Genealogy is Marketplace Boutique with a second channel. Keeping Up with the Griffins is in the house. I'm going to, I had a busier winter than I thought. I was sick almost the whole month of January, if you could believe it. And I usually don't get sick like that. But my time has opened up and I'm hoping I'm going to chase down, pardon me. Yes. Where did you go? Keeping Up with the Griffins. Because they are doing really well on their channel as well. And then thank you, Scratch and PPA. Yes, I did actually just skip over our super chatters. G Smoke 330, good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. And then yes, hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I know I do. I try not to. So forgive me. I was supposed to put Create and Relate and The Queen Before You Reacts up onto the screen. I'll put them up next. I went and spun the wheel. As you can see here in Tuber Chat, I promise you, I make as many mistakes as anybody, maybe more. And luckily, Scratch and PPA catches what we think is probably all of them. But it has to be most of them at least. But Create and Relate and The Queen Before You Reacts will come up next. Anytime, any place, anywhere. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And then, yeah, thank you, Little Red Big Smile. Thank you so much for the thought. Here in this stream, things like super chats and memberships are not necessary. Of course, I appreciate the extra support when it happens, but everybody can see that this channel is doing fine. So you do not have to super chat or be a member to get onto the wheel or the screen. We just speed things up in those cases. They get to skip the line, let's just say, as a bonus more than anything else. And then Blester Crochet is up on the screen right now. This is a creator that's going to bring us a lot of spiritual inspiration, and she's posting frequently. I got to rerun the last video. This is happening to me all the time now. In every stream, I put videos up on the screen, and my red line is not all the way across, unless I went back for a comment or something like that. Let me get the latest one. I'm going to put this in my catch-up list as well. And this is just a playlist I use to keep or get caught up with creators. Playlists can be a great tool for that. And Blester Crochet obviously is going to bring us some creativity on the channel, but spiritual inspiration is the focus. Then when we get into shorts here, we see that she's got into 9,000 and 10,000 views on a couple of these already, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel as well. So she is live fairly frequently, usually once or twice a week as a minimum. And we've always got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and catching each other's content as often as possible. We know she's monetized, lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. And we're working on 1,600 subscribers on this channel. And then Auntie Mama's Kitchen, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And Big Boy Snacks Johnny TV is another longtime friend. Forgive me, I'm losing my mind here. I'm spinning the wheel again. Create and Relate is coming up right now. And then Rainy Ridge is being selected by the wheel. So they're going to come up right after The Queen Before You Reacts. And they've been here before as well. Forgive me, we're a lot calmer today than we usually are. And still I'm slipping all over the place here. But that's all right. Luckily, we're all friends here, right? And patience is definitely a virtue. When it comes to Create and Relate, we see a creator that I talk about. She's here for just about every stream as well. We talk about the different unboxings that this creator's been doing lately. And a lot of what they're doing, all of it is creativity, but a lot of what they're doing comes down to filming and things that can help the YouTube journey as well. And when we look over the last many videos, you're going to see a lot of the creative things that they're bringing out. So I talk about some of these lights, the SD card holder that they've got there, and other things that can be used for film. But then they've also got this Cricut machine. They can make some merchandise with that or other ideas. And then lately they've been doing more artistic things. We can see this unbelievable couple of collections of colored pencils here. I'm just going to grab this latest one. I'm going to put this in my catch-up list. Again, that's a playlist I use to keep caught up with creators. And then Tampa's Creek Homestead and More is gifting a membership again. They've done that kind of thing countless times before, and I really do appreciate that extra generous support. For that reason, I'm going to put their channel up on the screen right after Rainy Ridge, because I did spin the wheel there. She is Tamika. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Took me a second to read that name. Easy enough, though, and hopefully you're feeling welcome also. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. Who could use my help, Butler Family Farm? You could, yes, with all that hay that they just brought in. I didn't catch the reason for it. If it's just everything on the farm is going through more than expected for this time of year. It's got to be tough to gauge those things. I mean, I love math and I love statistics, but there's a nuance when it comes to any living creature. Wondering if we're going to go through more than we think at times, if that makes any sense. If everybody hasn't already seen, Butler Family Farm has 116 acres of farmland. And Crafty Witch 232, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. And they've done that many times before as well. She's doing that so that we'll look at Jody Genealogy, and that's the creator behind a channel we know and love, the Marketplace Boutique, who's been with us for what I believe is a couple of years now. Oh, and then if I can find her, it's okay. I'm going to put Jody Genealogy up right after Tampa's Creek Homestead and More. And forgive me, Create and Relate is still on the screen. I'm butchering your introduction today, but you get some extra screen time. And then when we look at what Create and Relate is doing here, they've got some shorts. These have gotten into 1,300 views on one of these, which is great to see. And then live streams as well. So they've been doing quite a few of these. I hope I can catch one of these. I don't think I've caught you live yet. And I've got notifications on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other. But up to a week week ago. They were doing these every couple of days, which is great. So hopefully I'll catch you for one of these if you're going to do one again. I'm sure you probably have one planned for the next either today or the next couple of days. And then I know I say this often as well, but I'm on Instagram all the time, Facebook most of the time, and Twitter some of the time. And anybody can reach out whenever you've got something like a live stream or a premiere or anything at all. And I try, no matter what I'm doing, to hop in if you've got a special occasion. I try never to miss anybody's monetization celebrations, but things like anniversaries, birthdays, and this and that, I try to be there for those as well. So anybody can reach out anytime. The Queen Before You Reacts is up on the screen right now. This is a channel we've seen before, and they're monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. They are working on 2,100 subscribers. I'm hoping we can push them a little bit closer towards that milestone when we look at their videos. I'm just going to grab one of these. I think The Queen Before You Reacts has been here 2 or 3 times, and forgive me if I'm mistaken about that. It might be more, but it's a channel I'm still getting to know. So they've got a lot of variety here. They'll do reactions, shorts, a bit of gaming, and some random live streams. So I've got a video here to have a look at, and that'll give me another piece of content to have watched. They've got some shorts that have done really well, 12,000, 14, and 16,000 views on some of these, which is great. And then live streams as well. So they're on frequently. They're on like every day or every other day. So it should be easy to catch them. I got the notification. Oh, pardon me. I was going to say I got the notification bell on. We haven't seen this channel before. Usually I don't. I give it a different introduction, but it's okay. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to go ahead and subscribe right this second, because I'll make sure I get through my video shortly. I know they've been here before. I didn't realize it's the first time we have you on the screen. So I'm going to do something else. I'm going to take a second video. Looks like is it Grand Theft Auto? I'm going to put this into my watch later list, and that will give me a video to watch. I'll make sure that I go through that, give you a comment, a thumbs up, and then that should make our connection stick. And then hopefully you have our notification bell on so you don't miss our further live streams. We're usually here at least 3 times a week. We mix up the days and times so that we can meet different creators from around the world in different time zones. And thank you again for the super chat and create and relate. Thank you for that as well. Crafty Witch 232. I really do appreciate that. And then Rainy Ridge is coming up. I spun the wheel earlier. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. And then when we look at this chat, I see Cabarar Gaming is in the house. Word up to you. Cabarar Gaming's a longtime friend. They've been with us over 4 years now. And then when we look at Rainy Ridge, we see a channel that's a little bit newer to us, but Eric and Tina have been with us. I don't think it's quite been a year yet. Forgive me if I'm mistaken about that. But they've got an interesting new video here. So they're going to go shopping. I'm going to take this latest video, put this into my catch-up list. And this is what I was talking about with a lot of homesteading channels that we have, right? And there's a lot of creativity here too. A lot of people there's a lot of outdoor content, but there's a lot of building videos, a lot of renovation videos, a lot of prepping, a lot of canning, a lot of growing of different things. So in this case, while I'm grouping it in with homesteading, they let us know they have a small woodworking shop and they work on a lot of different things when it comes to woodworking, and that's why there's a lot of outdoor content there as well. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 13,000 and 18,000 views, and then when we look at live streams, we see they've got one coming up, and that's going to be just in a few days, and they seem to be live almost once a week, every other week, but everybody will get their regular time zone or your local time zone when you check out the upcoming premieres and live streams and things like that. We always set notifications for all of those, whether they're premieres or live streams, to give us the best opportunity of catching each other's content, but also, regardless of whether we think we could be there or not, it sends a signal of engagement into the algorithm for the creator. Obviously, 20 notifications is better than 10, let's say. And so I've got the notification on, even though I've got the notification bell on for the channel, and that gives us the best chance overall. Angelic Warriors, aka Mrs. M, Good to see you in the house, and thank you for dropping a super chat. Again, they've done that before. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. And when we look at Rainy Ridge on the screen, we see another couple of generous, loyal, and dedicated supporters. Hopefully I'll catch you for that Saturday Night Live. Yes, I should see that on the thumbnail. I should have known it already by now. Yes, weekly, Saturday Night Live. So hopefully on Saturday I'll catch you for that. And then I'm looking through the chat. I know I missed Rudy Fern with Autism Homestead. Good to see you here. And Mama Juju Crafton on the back 40. Good to see you in the house also. And let's look at Tampa's Creek Homestead and More. They gifted a membership a moment ago. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. And then Cake and Eat Meat Day with Cherry. Good to see you in the house. That's Danforth Avenue Wellness. And then Campus Creek Homestead and More is up on the screen. I still got a couple channels to go. Jody Genealogy will come up. Crafty Witch 232 dropped a super chat for them. Angelic Warrior 37, aka Mrs. M, will be up right after that. And then when we look at Tampa's Creek Homestead and More, they gifted a membership. So we always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, and then I'll get back to spinning the wheel. And over the course of today's stream, another 2 hours, I'm going to add names to the wheel based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation. And that just puts a little more reinforcement on the idea that we're focused so much on the friendships that are made between creators. And I'm just part of me looking in the side here. Like I said, I'm on Instagram all the time. I don't really look at it too much when we're on the stream here unless the moderators need anything. But there was something I was waiting for. A longtime dear friend of ours, Ben Cyan Games, has been entered into the YouTube Partner Program and will likely be monetized any second, which is going to be exciting because he's been at it. He streams every single day for over 600 days now. The Numismaniac, another fellow Canadian from Edmonton, Alberta. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for another super chat. He's done that countless times before. I didn't realize that just a moment ago, The Queen Before You Reacts dropped a super chat and took over our stream boss position. So that's the video game life meter you see under my camera here. Every super chat, membership, and highlighted milestone message knocks a little bit of life off of that stream boss, and the last person to knock it out and take over gets some extra exposure for their channel, as you can see. So thank you for that. The Tampa's Creek Homestead and More, like I said, gifted a membership. They've done that many times before. This is a grandmother and granddaughter duo, and they're bringing pure variety on their channel. They could be indoors, they could be outdoors, they could be playing games, they could be exploring. When we look at shorts on this channel, there's a lot of variety here, but a couple of the newer shorts since they found our channel have been blowing up. The reason why I say that is because I knew this one here that I'm circling was the most popular short for a while. And just in the last couple of months, they've dropped a couple more that have continued to grow. I know it's exciting for everybody when we have something that breaks the last record. And what I mean by that is, you know, you get a short, let's say here to 6,000 views, then you get one to 7,000. It's exciting over and over and over again. And, you know, everybody's going to experience this in their YouTube journey, of course. And then, I'm just looking through the chat. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Tampa's Creek Homestead and More as well has got live streams on the channel. So they've got a couple set up here. One for tomorrow, one for today. So they're going to do one tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be about 6 hours from now. But we always set notifications, like I keep saying, for everything we see. Even though we've got the notification bell on for the channel, and we know that they're monetized, lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Hopefully we will get this grandmother and granddaughter duo to 900 subscribers soon enough. They're on their way right now. So thank you for that gifted membership again. Absolutely unnecessary, but always appreciated, of course. And then next up is Jody Genealogy. She had a super chat dropped for her by Crafty Witch 232, who we saw earlier. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or at mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Oh, that's really, really cool. The Numismaniac has a son that's doing a Pokemon card collecting channel. My understanding is a few people are saying here, because I asked them, why is Pokemon like just exploding again? You know, I'm a little bit too like old for that myself. When my son and my nephew were growing up, they were heavily into Pokemon. So I understand what it is to a point, but before my time. So I have to rely on other people to let me know, like, what's all the hype about? And I think they said there's another game. It's either a movie or a game that was just released. And there's videos now of people in just like, it looks like Black Friday at Costco when people are attacking the Pokemon cards. And I see them on auction websites and things like that all the time for astronomical prices. But I know that Pokemon is definitely an icon when it comes to pop culture and gaming and everything else. Jody Genealogy is up on the screen right now, so thank you one more time, CraftyWitch232. It's an incredibly generous thing to have done, to have dropped a super chat so that we would look at somebody else's channel. And then when we look here at Jody Genealogy, this is a new channel from a creator we've known for a long time now, a couple of years. Jody is the creator behind Marketplace Boutique. Now here, she's bringing us ancestry, history, and adventures, and working on 400 subscribers, and she's bringing us really interesting things. I wonder if this was inspired from her other channel, because she really finds interesting things while she's teaching us how to buy and sell on platforms like eBay. And I'll show that to you in a moment. Venom for Life, good to see you in the house. That's another friend we've had for about 4.5 years. They've been with us from the beginning. Good to see you here. And Jody Genealogy on the screen has got some shorts on this channel already. She's done really well with shorts right from the beginning, but you can see these are getting into 600, 700, and on the way to 800 views now. Then when we look at my alarms are going off left and right here. Jody Genealogy has got a couple of live streams as well, so up to a couple weeks ago, and hopefully everybody will connect with her. We always put notification bells on for everyone. Let me show you Marketplace Boutique as well. So she's been at this since 1998. She is in e-commerce, and she shares knowledge with us, not just packing and shipping things. Those are easy tasks to accomplish, listing and things like that, but finding the right things to buy and then sell. And she's mastered this. She gives us a lot of tips about buying collections of things and splitting them up. I'm just going to grab her latest video and put this into my catch-up list. This creator will even take us shopping to show us where she finds some of the things that she turns around and sells online. She's been at this long enough now that she's giving us tutorials about our YouTube journey as well, whether we're working with Canva or working on YouTube promotions or membership badges. So she's done a handful of those as well, obviously caring very much about the YouTube journey, her community, and those of us in the Tuber Chat family. Then she's got shorts here at 12,000, 14,000, and 20,000 views. These feature pure variety, actually, and she's added a lot of variety onto her channel. When it comes to live stream, she could be collaborating with others. She might be by the fire. She might be on the water. And there's more variety here. So hopefully everybody will connect with Marketplace Boutique, another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And if I didn't already say it, she's monetized too. Lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. And thank you one more time, CraftyWitch232, for that super chat so that we would look at Jody's channels. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. So Kaiser Gaming YT is dropping a super chat as well. Thank you for that. Little Red Big Smile. Forgive me, I didn't realize you picked up one of those gifted memberships. So I'm going to put you onto our wheel right now because we always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. And then we always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen in order when those things happen. So shortly, we're going to look at the Numismaniac and Kaiser Gaming YT, who both dropped super chats today. They've both done that a million times. And then, yeah, Venom for Life. It can take a while. It's unfortunately we have to use that speech. It's not a race. It's different for everybody, but it does happen. The biggest help that we can give when it comes to monetization here, and especially thinking about watch hours, is that people here can swap with each other. Now, Venom for Life has done a ton of content. They've been with us for over 4 years now, so they will have playlists that will go literally hours, if not days long. Lots of opportunity there. As a matter of fact, Venom for Life, I will run your channel myself shortly as well, probably starting today. And that will help. So anybody, of course, is free to swap playlists with each other. If you'd like to, you just simply say, I'm willing to swap playlists. Somebody should reach out to you. But please also reach out to other creators. Because I know I say that all the time, and then sometimes I go back and I look at the logs through Nightbot to see how the conversations have gone, or I see people mentioning swapping playlists, but not necessarily jumping onto each other to support. But you can. The best success in here in Tuber Chat is always in making the first move, reaching out to other creators to connect. Whether it's for playlists or to become friends and support each other's channels over the long term. Hopefully everybody's doing both. But everybody can. And the best way to do that, like I said, is making the first move. Health Dishes, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And then let's look at Angelic Warrior 37, aka Mrs. M. They've been here many times before. 3 Cheese and Me, is that, I'm going to look at that channel in the background. I know you were here on the last stream, and I didn't look at it in the background. I think that's a newer channel that's just come into the Tuber Chat family lately. I haven't yet connected with you yet, but hopefully we'll get a chance to see your channel. We're moving faster than we usually do today, and we still have 2 hours. So we can't often get to every single channel every day, but we do get through as many as we can. So if you have the time to stay, closer to the end of the stream, we usually get through a lot more channels, but I was just interested to see that in the background. And then, yeah, Venom for Life, I mean, it happens to all of us. Breaks are okay. We talk about that in our interview videos. And I find on any channel where I've ever taken, let's say, a week off, right? It takes about a month to get the momentum back. Even if I have to take 2, 3, 4 weeks off or even longer, it only takes a month to get the momentum back, but it does take that long. But Venom for Life posts consistently anyway. Angelic Warrior, aka Mrs. M, is somebody I'm still getting to know, but they let us know they do natural hair vlogs, makeup, mukbang, ASMR, and random topics as well. Pardon me. They've got lots of members-only content on the channel, so obviously they're monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. I'm going to take one of their latest videos. This looks like video gameplay here, but I don't know if I've seen this. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. That will give me a piece of content to watch and a solid 1 hour of watch time on that video for you. And then shorts on the channel as well. Watch time still helps when you're monetized, because we got to keep those hours up. It's easy to do. By the time you get to your 3,000 hours of watch time and 4,000, you're gaining so much. You're really it's difficult to lose. But what's going to happen is when we're doing things like swapping playlists for each other or running each other's videos, we're running or watching them from beginning to end. And that's going to help retention on the whole channel, right? So Angelic Warrior 37, aka Mrs. M, has got some shorts here with some cooking videos as well. There's a bit of variety. They've gotten into 2,000 views, one over 13,000. So that's a different, interesting one, and great to see that it's moving so fast. They're working on 2,700 subscribers, and they've got live streams here as well. So they're live almost daily daily or every other day, and some of it's members only, but a lot of different ideas here as well. Looks like a good chance to get to know the creator. So hopefully everybody will connect with Angelic Warrior 37, aka Mrs. M. I see Hilda DC is coming in. That's a beloved and dedicated moderator. She's been with us from the beginning as well. I'm going to get her onto the wheel. We're going to make a quick exit here just for about 3.5 minutes for a break. And right before we do that, I'm going to play a clip from our interview series again. And this is from an upcoming episode of these interviews, even though they're friendly conversations. All of the creators featured are longtime friends of ours. They've been with us for years. All of them have long passed their 10,000 subscribers. We use the term family a lot. I noticed you all doing it when I was just starting out. And then, over the years, of course, you use that because it truly feels like that, especially when, you haven't been on for a while. Somebody comes looking for you and notices. That's a good feeling, and we try to do that for other people as well. But these are just examples of how this starts to feel like a family. And you hear me say often, I know Sylvia feels the same way, that we give much more to others than we expect to receive, knowing that we're going to get everything that we want. I mean, Sylvia, when I was first connected to you, and I can't remember now, I don't remember if it was 4 years or 5 years, but it's somewhere around there. And she was obviously already at it. But thinking back to how you must have felt, I don't know how soon you thought you were going to get over 10,000 and now towards 14,000 subscribers, but it must be a great feeling to see it continue to grow.
Yeah, I'm definitely blessed. I feel blessed. I just feel motivated. I feel uplifted. And I'm happy that I can connect with so many amazing supporters. The people who come in, they come in and they stick and they stay. Yes, not all almost 14,000 people come over, but I have repeat offenders. And what I mean by repeat offenders,
of course,
I'll see you in my comments on Monday. I'll see you in my comments on Wednesday. See you in my comments on Friday. So you always coming back and you're supporting me. And one thing that I do on my channel, and I think this is a big change, and with having so many supporters, when people leave a comment on any video, be it a short, be it a video, be it a live, I'm going to respond back to you to acknowledge you for coming in, thanking you for coming in. And then I go to your channel and I watch something for you. In order to get support on these YouTube streets, you got to give support. You have to give it.
Sure.
It's $3.99 to go over there and watch a video of somebody and make a comment. You don't know how much you may change their life.
All right, we're just about back. Thank you, PK Travel Adventures, and thank you, Southern Bell Auctions, for mentioning that. What I had described is the idea that when we use the new Super Chat goal feature, it can feel like something that's a great addition to our YouTube channels. Of course, it is. But if you have a channel that's not yet getting a lot of super chats or memberships and things like that, it will come. I promise you. Everybody that wants to be monetized, everybody that wants to bring in significant income from YouTube absolutely can. But we have to also understand numbers are not important if we're thinking about monetization. And what I mean by that is the number of subscribers you have, the number of views you get, the number of people in your live stream, and everything else we could think about does not matter if monetization and a specific amount of money are the goal. And I'd like to think I can help with both, but we have to be able to separate those ideas. So when we think about the Super Chat goal feature, if your channel is not yet getting a lot of Super Chats when it comes to the idea of live streams or premieres, or you're not getting a lot of memberships yet, what I would recommend is to set your sights a little bit higher than where you're at. So a lot of times I see channels that, we've all got, most of us have the Super Chat goal feature now. You might be inclined to I'm going to set it to 20. I would love 20 Super Chats. But the problem is the instinct that people will have wanting to help you get to that goal doesn't kick in unless you get close. So if you're not already getting 15, 16, 17 super chats per stream, you may not be able to get to that 20 right away. What I recommend is to set it very low, either to 1 or to 5. And what will happen is that over a shorter period of time than it would have been, you'll start to see that goal getting hit. Maybe not all the time, but eventually. And then once you get a solid 5, 6, 7 super chats on every stream, I would jump it to 10. Or basically, as soon as you hit 5, I would start jumping it to 10 as long as you're sure. And you'll see it grow. The way it's not a great analogy, but the way I describe it is thinking about a race car driver. We all know what NASCAR is, whether you watch it or not. And these guys are trying to take a 1/10 of a second off of their time when they're driving, when they're doing their races, things about laps and this thing. You understand what I mean? The idea is to try to get a little bit better every time. They're not reaching for, I wish I could do what I did in 10 seconds and only 5. That's not going to happen, right? So these are just ideas. And I know I'm kind of dancing all over the place with the speech, but I'm sure you get what I mean. But I do appreciate the idea of you mentioning that Southern Bell Auctions, because I have a million ideas, and I can't tell the good ones from the bad ones, but most of my ideas work most of the time. This is why things seem to do well, usually, or better than average, everything that I touch, let's just say. I'm not saying great. I'm just saying a lot of it works. And if people have better ideas, I'd love to learn as well. I learn from creators with channels of all sizes every single day. But these are just ideas to try to help if that's something that's a goal. Not everybody is focused on monetization or the amount of money coming in and things like that. There's 50 million channels on YouTube, which means there's 50 million different reasons for us to be here. But we'd love to help when people want to do different things. There's Ben Cyan Games. I figured he'd probably come in. He's streaming every single day and has now got the YouTube Partner Program. So yeah, Ben Cyan Games. The 4,000 hours will just add the AdSense ad or advertising revenue for the ads that play during your videos and this and that. For most people, I imagine that it's going to be a smaller portion of your income than Super Chats and memberships, at least over the long term. But there's a couple people who have reached out and said, no, they actually make more money from ads than they do from Super Chats and memberships, and that's fine too. But that's really what that's for. There might be a couple of other features that unlock. I had thought you had to have 4,000 hours of watch time to be able to do the redirect and have 1,000 subscribers, but I'm wrong about that. Our music channel has 900 subscribers, not 1,000, but we can do the official rating, which is great. Bigfoot Dwarf, good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. The reason why we talk about emojis and capitals in the chat, though, as well, is it really has not much to do with what we're doing here. But what we are hoping for everybody is that when you go to other people's live streams and premieres and things like that, it takes a while to get to know all the things that we do. And there is a lot of information out there. I've been corrected many times. We always have to consider where we're getting our information and where we're learning and make our own right decisions. But sometimes you can go into somebody else's channel, and if you're doing a lot of capitals or a lot of emojis, you can get timed out or worse by moderators. An ironic story, and I'll try to get through it quickly. Thank you, Health Dishes, by the way. I've got your channel set up to go right after Kaiser Gaming YT now. We always put Superchatters and memberships gifters onto the screen when those things happen. And thank you, Scratch and PPA, by the way. We are getting close to 6,000 subscribers. We will likely have it actually sooner than I thought. But thank you, everybody, for that. All of the shares, especially, that everybody's doing. But I hear the things people say. You know, sometimes I come into a live stream and a couple people say, oh, Superchat, we were just talking about you. Because the idea is that we're helping people make friends here, and this community continues to grow, continues to solidify after all these years, because it's a successful idea. We're all making new friends, and everybody's recognizing that and sending more people in as well, if that makes any sense. But I do have a small story. I went into a channel. Now I can't remember what the name of the channel was. I was just in somebody's live stream who's fairly new in the Tuberchat family yesterday. And what happened is one of the moderators thought I was a chatbot, like Nightbot or Streamlabs or Stream Elements. It's happened many times. I've been banned on a couple channels, timed out on a few others, and everything else, right? You just laugh it off. It's funny. But one of the creators was deleting messages until the host said, whoa, what are you doing? Are you're deleting messages from Tuberchat? And they're like, no, we're longtime friends. We're long time friends. And it's just the moderator hadn't recognized my channel. But through that fun and conversation that we had, they were like, oh, I thought it was, basically I thought it was a robot, but I see it's a person and this and that. And a couple people, no, that's a real person and everything else. Then I actually made a few new friends. So there's at least a couple of new channels that I expect to come through live streams in the next week or so, because we met. And one of the other things that I talk about with that is when we get into live streams, we all want to be in live streams where there's 100 people watching. And I'm talking about going to other people's channels. If you go to Garden State Gardener, if you go to Scratch and PP, he's got 50 people in there or more. If you go to Stock Explorer, she can have 50 people or more in there. Hilda DC, there's a lot of creators that are doing really well. And it's nice when you go in there because you feel like, oh, I'm going to make a lot of friends when I'm there. It may not be the reason you go, but I'm just saying it could be in the back of your mind. But I also find that a lot of times you get some of your most supportive supporters and friends from slower live streams where there's only 2, 3, or 4 people, because you can have conversations. And Two Pineapples is a channel that's part of our interview series that talks specifically about that. If you have the time, you can just hang out and really get to know a couple of people. They might be with you for years, as opposed to we just say hello to each other in everybody's premieres and live streams, if that makes any sense. But I promise you, in live streams, busy and not as busy, you can make lots of friends that will be with you for a long period of time. Alex Wandering, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Cruising on the high season travel. Yes, 3 months already. Thank you, Rob. That's another fellow Canadian. And Woody and Wendy will be on the case if people delete Tuberchat comments. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Yeah, Southern Bell Auctions. It's funny that you say that because I hadn't even realized it yet. I've been in lots of auction sites. We've probably got a good solid 10 channels now that do auction, live bidding, live streams, if that makes any sense. And I hadn't realized that. But here, like I said, it's not as important here. We used to make much more of a big deal about it, but I just worry for other people. When they go into other people's live streams where it's not acceptable, let's just say, or people have wrong information, because I got people asking questions about a lot of the things we talk about often. The idea is, I know what it's like to be in somebody's channel and get timed out or banned for dropping emojis. You know what I mean? And things like that. It took me time to learn this too. I was brand new at all of what we're doing. I'd already been on YouTube for a couple of years before I was introduced to the small YouTuber community, as we call it. And then Superchat came out as a channel and a idea, let's just say. So forgive the long speeches today. I always think I'm not going to get into them, but I do love to talk. The Numismaniac has got some interesting stories as well, and a lot of history to be learned. They're going to talk to us about numismatic collectible coins, precious metals, and other collectibles of value. This creator, I have to find a better, more accurate way of saying this, but is community service minded, let's just say. And you'll get that idea when you get through some of their content. They've got beautiful things to look at. The Skipper will be found on his channel, usually in live streams with a lot of friends on StreamYard panels as well. There he is right there. But you can see, even just from the thumbnails here, there's a lot of history that goes along with the things that he's talking about, like the precious metals, numismatic collectibles, and other ideas. When we look at shorts on this channel, we see that the Numismaniac has gotten into over 1,000 views, on the way towards 2,000 now. He's got some winter weather there from Edmonton, Alberta. And the Numismaniac has been a long time incredible supporter. He's been with us for years. I'm not sure if it's 4 years, 3 for sure, but maybe 4 by now. And I can't remember how long all of our friendships have gone on, of course. Like, most of us would think it's usually longer than you think it is. But the reason why I say it is so that everybody here can understand you are literally going to meet people who will be supporters of yours years into the future. If we could all just meet each other, that's what we're doing. The Numismaniac is a second channel. I'm going to show it to you now. Santa Claus, if I can spell properly. North Pole, Canada. And this is a channel that's actually active all year. And if you haven't already seen this, I'd recommend hopping over there, because this is a truly magical channel. You can imagine what it's like for people to be able to get messages to and from Santa Claus. And this is what we can do, not just in November and December, but all year round. And this creator happens to get involved in things like Christmas in July for people who can benefit from that kind of thing. And like I said, community service minded is the best way I've found to describe it so far. You'll get that idea when you get over there. He's even got shorts. One of them's gotten into 1,200 subscribers, and then live streams as well. And we're hoping for more of those. So again, from Edmonton, Alberta, this is another channel run by the Numismaniac, and hopefully everybody will connect, push this channel towards its 500 subscribers. That's another exciting and important milestone in everybody's YouTube journey. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. And then, hopefully I'm not missing anything that's going on in the chat there. Cruising on the High Seas and Travel is another fellow Canadian, but they're just dropping another, gifted membership. And I really do appreciate that extra generous support. And TWP Popcorn will be happy to have that. They're a longtime friend. I know I'm probably behind in the chat right now. I've got a small list of channels to go through before we spin the wheel again. Health Dishes, along with Butler Family Farm, dropped super chats there. And Butler Family Farm has done that countless times before. And then we're going to look at cruising on the high seas and travel. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen when those things happen, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel. But we still got an hour and a half to go. We're doing really well today for time. We're getting to more channels than we usually do, even with my long speeches. And then hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. As long as everyone's still active, we should get around to saying hello to everyone. And Butler Family Farm. Oh, the Stream Boss. No, the Stream Boss is still sitting at $4.99 right now. I'm not sure if that even counted, to be honest with you. The trouble with the Stream Boss, we never know if it's actually going to work. I have my Stream Boss set to 1 point per American penny. So it resets at 20 or 2,000 points every time it every time it rolls over. So right now with 499 points, you can tell how much it would take to knock the Stream Boss off. We got a few friends like Butler Family Farm that like to snipe that thing. Thank you, Consume the Goodness. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Giovanna Casadio, good to see you in the house. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think you told me before, and forgive me if I'm wrong, if you don't mind, and then just please correct me if I'm mistaken. Mona Did What? This is a creator with a heavy reputation on YouTube. Mona Did What has a channel that's just exploding, but she is energetic, a truly dynamic host, and she connects people as well. But not even like, she doesn't even aggressively do it. Just, she welcomes people to do it. I can't tell you how many times I've been in other people's live streams where they mention Superchat, and he's a nice guy and everybody can meet there, and they say pleasant things, which I appreciate. But then they say Mona Did What? That's a lot of people in her channel, and she does. She's got some vibrant live streams over there. And then Mona Did What? Thank you for the super chat. We looked at Scratch and PPA's channel earlier, but I'm going to put him up again for a quick second. But thank you for that. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. And we've seen that a couple of times just today even. And then Wayne's World Unlimited, thank you for the super chat as well. And we'll get them ready to go also. The thing about the Stream Boss and these like extra features in Streamlabs desktop, or if you're using Streamlabs at all, is that we can't guarantee that they work all the time. That's the reason I took super stickers off the channel now, because they don't register for those kind of things. It can be too confusing. But Mona Did What? Snipe that Stream Boss position there with that super chat. So thank you for that extra generous support. And memberships, I don't know if it picks up gifted memberships. I forget for the life of me right now. We'll have to watch. I'm always distracted from watching the side of the screen. I'll try to keep it in mind. But if you guys, I can ask everybody's help in watching that. The next time somebody gifts a membership, and I don't want to solicit it right now. It's not necessary. I appreciate all that does happen. Then we'll just watch and see if it does affect the Stream Boss, because for whatever reason, I think that it might not. And then, forgive me, we're going to start moving through channels again in a quick second here. Kaiser Gaming YT also dropped a super chat. I got quite a list going on here. Health Dishes, Butler Family Farm, Cruising on the High Seas and Travel, along with Mona Did What and Wayne's World Unlimited are all coming up. We still got an hour and a half to go. It's lots of time to put lots of channels on the screen. And then we're going to do a stream from our copyright-free music channel for an hour as well. That's like a virtual nightclub. Everybody's, hopping in and out of there. There's a video game going. We keep that going for another solid hour so that everybody can keep connecting. Yeah, I don't think it does, Butler Family Farm. It picks up highlighted milestone messages, though. So there's an extra hint for all our members. Kaiser Gaming YT is a gaming channel with a lot of Fortnite lately. He's changed up the games a couple of times, but Fortnite is the highlight right now. This is from Chris's Clever Craft. We'll look at both of his channels, and he's posting every single day, whether it's videos or lots of shorts, and these have started to do well, 10,000 views and beyond, or live streams. He streams every day. He's playing some Skyrim there. There you go. Yes, I should know that because I've been in there. What he does is 2 live streams at the same time. So you see when I roll over these, he's got a horizontal one, and a vertical one at the same time. So able to pick up more views, more subscribers. You can see that the vertical ones are great for extra views because going through the shorts feed, right? This is what we know about vertical live streams. How many of those subscribers turn into longtime viewers of regular content is a thought that a lot of people have. But either way, you're still able to grow the channel. He's built this gaming channel. Obviously, we all start at zero, up to 1,300 subscribers now and monetized. Lots of ways to support him here, including super chats and memberships when we get there. He's been at this a long time. Chris's Clever Craft has been with us from the beginning. And that's another 4.5 years when I keep talking about it. He is somebody who brings fun into everything that he does. He's got an interesting property, and he brings us both indoors and outdoors, usually for a lot of do-it-yourself videos. He's doing some home renovation lately, but he's also got some unboxing videos, shout-outs for other creators, and a lot of interesting stories to be told as well. So he's got lots of videos over here, shorts, one of which is still growing at 25,000 views now, and then live streams on the channel as well. And he's been doing a lot of live streams lately, especially when he's doing these home renovations. So hopefully everybody will connect with Chris's Clever Craft. That's the creator behind Kaiser Gaming YTs. It's 600 subscribers right now, working on 700. We'd love to push him a little bit farther. And then thank you again for the super chat. I really do appreciate that generous support. He's done that countless times before. And then Health Dishes is coming up for the same reason. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Create with Becca came in. Matthew's Bushcraft from the Big Family Expedition is here. Yeah, a Kaiser Gaming YT. This is the thing that, it's tough to find the line between not soliciting so heavily when it comes to, and there's nothing wrong with it, super chats, memberships, and stuff like that, but the fact that a lot of what we do does cost money. People have seen, like lots of our friends who've been with us as long as Chris has, have seen the growth in this channel. The things that I've done over the years, like I've upgraded computers and my system and everything like that. I've got more outdoor gear and things run pretty smoothly when I'm trying to do all the different things that I do. But we all know that there's headaches. There's, we got things to think about. Batteries, phones, cables, chargers. Things get broken. Things get lost. Things get old, and things like that. Wheats Art, good to see you in the house. And Mona Did What is dropping another super chat here for the Stock Explorer, so thank you for that. Obviously an incredibly supportive creator. And let me get the Stock Explorer ready to go with Scratch and PPA. And we'll catch up in a quick second here. And like I said before, that's a generous thing to have done. She's dropping a super chat so that we will look at those channels, and then we'll look at hers as well. Mona Did What is really got a fantastic thing going on her channel, and her community really loves her too. Sometimes you see that when a creator can really make a connection with their community, and she's done a great job of that over the years. She's been with us about 4 years now, I think, as well, or close to it. Health Dishes is a channel that's a little bit newer. They've been with us a few months now. Pardon me, it's a channel I'm still getting to know, but I'm just going to grab one of their latest videos here. Everybody likes a green healthy drink. I'm going to put that into my catch-up list. They've got some beautiful looking thumbnails on these cooking videos as well, all healthy stuff. I eat a lot of fruit. I love fruit. I'm trying to get into more salad. Some of you know Kristen Welton. Most of you know Kristen Welton, but we live together in Niagara Falls, Canada. But we've been starting to get into eating more salad. My problem with salad is that I don't like lettuce every day, and it's just I usually don't whine and complain about food that much. I'll eat almost anything, but when it comes to salad, it's like, okay, it's enough with the lettuce already. But she's been extremely, dare I say, accommodating in obviously being together with anybody takes a little bit of compromise, but she's been very considerate in the idea that when we do have salad, which is often, I've started to try to help a little bit, but when we have it, it's not just lettuce all the time. She's the kind of person who can make anything taste like it comes out of a restaurant, whereas much like what I expect from health dishes here, what I describe all the time, and I mentioned it earlier, I can cook to save my life. If you want to call making a salad cooking, I don't know, but but nothing I do is spectacular. So if I make a salad, it's just a garden salad. It's exactly what it should be. The dressing's going to come out of a bottle, of course. And then thank you, Cruising on the High Seas and Travel. He's dropping a super chat so that we'll look at hats on a mission. I'll put that up when I put your channel up in another moment here after Butler Family Farm. But thank you for that. Yeah, Jeremy and Cheryl from Cruising is Fun Anytime. They got a handful of channels. And Mona Did What is gifting a membership as well and keeping her own membership going. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. And then we hit our goal now as well. So thank you for that, Rob, and everybody who's contributed. I really do appreciate that. And that's an example of how that goal situation can work. You see that I'm not setting it to 20 because it's rare that Tuber Chat will get 20 super chats over the course of an entire live stream. That's a lot of super chats, but we do often hit 10 or close to it, so it makes it reasonable. And you notice that I put the goal setting on after the first break, after the first super chat or two have already come in, sometimes more. So you understand how I'm stretching that. And, in the spirit of transparency, I hope everybody will copy not every idea I have, but the good ones, so that you can maximize whatever you want to maximize on YouTube. Deb S. the Pug Mama Quilter, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. The Groves Bargain Emporium, Steph, good to see you here. I forget, I don't think we've connected yet, but you won a prize in our 800th giveaway, and I believe that we haven't connected with your address yet, because I've got to arrange to send that to you. So hopefully you're here, hopefully you're listening. But if that's the case, just please reach out. I'm on Instagram all the time, Facebook most of the time, Twitter some of the time as well. The email address here is tuberchat@mail.com, not Gmail. tuberchat@mail.com if anybody wants to reach out that way as well. Mona Did What? Thank you again for another super chat. For Deb S. the Pug Mama Quilter. So we got a handful of channels to look at here. I'm going to try to move it so that we can get through as many as possible in the next hour and 20 minutes or so. And we'll fire up the music channel so we get an extra hour to connect as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Health Dishes. They got some beautiful, delicious looking content on their channel you can see, and then they've got some live streams here as well. A lot of these I imagine are looping, which is okay. It's all beautiful looking content. So monetize, lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Like I said, it's a channel I'm still getting to know, but thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. They're working on 2,800 subscribers. Then Butler Family Farm is everybody's BFF. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. And then Trish the Natural and Be Bodacious, good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. And Butler Family Farm is also monetized. Now, this is a channel that's growing. Jerry's let us know he's using the YouTube promotion system to push it even faster and harder, let's just say. But this is 116 acres of farmland, and the channel brings us homesteading type content of many different varieties, actually. Jerry and Susan share the camera work here. Sometimes they're in the kitchen cooking. Sometimes Jerry's out in the shop woodworking. Sometimes they're out on the farm, most often dealing with a lot of the livestock and equipment. They've got cattle, goats, donkeys, horses, llamas, chickens, cats, dogs, and bees on the farm. And like I said, they bring us into their home, they take us out onto the farm, they bring us into the shop, and they show us all the different things that they have to do to look after this 116 acres, because my goodness, do they have a handful of equipment. Luckily, they've got some local resources that come by when they need extra either help or other things. They make some of their own tools on this farm, and they show us what it's like to repair a lot of things, because we all know things go wrong, and they seem to be able to work everything out. Though Butler Family Farm has got shorts up to 12,000, one at 52,000. Jerry dropped a super chat earlier again, so thank you for that. I really do appreciate that extra generous support, and we always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. We'll get back to spinning the wheel shortly. When we look at Butler Family Farms live streams, we know that they're live every Monday. I joked with Jerry, I sent him a screenshot because I literally, this particular live stream, I missed by 1 minute. You know when you like get onto the computer or get onto your phone? I don't know if the phone shows you because I'm usually on a computer, but it will literally say like streamed 1 minute ago. And I'm like, I literally just missed them. But they're live every Monday at 6:45 Eastern. And Jerry and Susan are either giving us a chance to get to know them in these live streams, or they've got a StreamYard panel with some guests, and I've joined them on their channel a couple of times now. They want to connect a lot of creators together. They're always heading out for different meetups, some large, some small. They get up to 80 channels worth of creators and supporters together, and then sometimes they're introducing us to people in StreamYard panels there. So lots of friends to be met over there, and Butler Family Farm, Jerry and Susan have been longtime generous, loyal, and dedicated supporters. And then let us think about looking at our next channel. And thank you again, Butler Family Farm. So Cruising on the High Season Travel dropped a super chat so that we would look at another channel that comes from Jeremy and Cheryl's Cruise Adventures, or Cruising is Fun Anytime. We'll look at that in a second. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up, or @mention Tuberchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. And then just pardon me for 1 second here. I was just reminding myself, so Hats on a Mission is a channel that Jeremy has set up with a special literal mission, and community service minded, like you've heard me mention earlier today. And I really think it's a great idea. So he says, our goal is simple yet powerful: to provide handmade warm winter hats, beanies in particular, to those in need, including the homeless, veterans, and individuals facing financial hardships. And I'm always happy to see anybody that's doing this kind of thing. So obviously a very special channel, a very special message. But it just reminded me for a second, tomorrow, March 26th, is Purple Day. And Kristen Welton, who I keep mentioning, is running an agency in Ontario called Epilepsy Niagara, and what they do is provide services and assistance to those living with and affected by epilepsy. And she's been doing this for as long as I can remember. I forget if it's 15 years now. We've been together about 9 years. And community minded. So, tomorrow's Purple Day, and anybody can support that just by simply wearing anything purple anywhere at all. And then everybody's got, different agencies and outlets when it comes to the idea of epilepsy around them. So that's just something I wanted to bring to everybody's attention, because we're not going to be streaming tomorrow. Hats on a Mission, though, is something that Jeremy set up here, I'm assuming with the assistance of Cheryl, his wife. When we look at these, the About section, we get more information about what to expect here, but he started the channel out with a lot of shorts, so this is really cool to see. To be honest with you, I haven't watched any of these yet, but I'm going to have to have a look. So I'm going to watch the I'm going to watch the first one here, the most popular one. I'll show everybody a trick if you haven't already seen this, but if you're on a computer and you want a better way to look at videos, if you want to call it that, there's a trick we can do. We can go up into the URL here, and instead of the word shorts, we can just take it out and put in the word watch. And you'll see what happens magically. The video turns into a regular YouTube video player with all the same controls we're used to seeing. So I'll give them the thumbs up right now. I'm going to save this video into my watch later playlist just so I give it extra attention, make sure that I watch that. But like I said, this is a channel with a special mission, and thank you, Cruising on the High Seas and Travel, for dropping a super chat so that we would look at this. That's Rob. He's a fellow Canadian. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. Vintage Style by Joe. Good to see you in the house. I'm going to get them on the wheel. They happen to be a member. We've still got quite a list of channels to go through, but I'm going to move it as fast as I can now. And we're looking at, or we're about to look at, Cruising on the High Seas and Travel. So this fellow Canadian is going to bring us cruising and travel-based content, but they also lately have been doing a lot of food reviews, and I recognize most of what I see here because I literally only live a few hours away from Rob. When we look at the channel, we see he's got a premiere coming up. Oh, Little Caesar's new pepperoni crazy puffs. I'm almost as excited to see that as I was the first time I ever went to a TGI Fridays, and they had those macaroni and cheese deep fried balls. I don't know what you call those things, but I was like, whatever you are, I need to try you right now. And that's how I feel about this kind of thing. I used to say lasagna was my favorite thing, but I've had a lot more pizza in my life than I have lasagna, so it should be pizza. But those look delectable. Cruising on the High Seas and Travel is going to bring us a lot of food and restaurant reviews lately. I'm just going to take the latest one and put it into my catch-up list. He sets up his videos in advance, so he's got a few premieres coming up. One of them is tomorrow, and then he's got them set up, I think, weekly. And when we look through a lot of these, we get the idea that Rob's using the AI systems as well for the imagery here. And a lot of thumbnails showing us some of the famous franchises and things like that also. Hopefully everybody will connect with him. We'd love to push him towards the 1,000. He's officially on the road. We always say you're officially on a road when you get to a 100 milestone. Since he's passed 900, that puts him officially on the road to 1,000. So that's obviously another exciting and important milestone in everybody's YouTube journey. And then thank you, Living Large with L Crew. And Cruising on the High Seas and Travel is up on the screen right now with shorts videos. Some of these have done well, 1,200, 1,800, one at 2,400, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel also. And he's got lots of these set up in advance. So we'll see when the next one is expected. It looks like it's going to be on the 27th, which should be Thursday. Hopefully I'll catch that one. I've got notifications on for every single thing, both premieres and live streams, even though we have the notification bell on. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch each other as often as possible as well. We got a few channels to look at when we get back from the next break. Mona Did What dropped a handful of super chats there and a gifted membership as well. And then we'll get back to spinning the wheel. So let's make this one quick. I'm going to play another clip from our interview series. We'll go for 3.5 minutes and then we will come right back. One of the things that comes along with monetization on YouTube that used to require 30,000 subscribers is memberships, and that's open to everybody that gets monetized after 500 subscribers now, or just about everybody. So one of the things that creators will ask is how can they increase the number of memberships over time on their channel? What advice would you give to somebody to increase the number of members and watch that grow if that's something that's on their mind?
Yo, you better get your pencil out for this one. I take this part very seriously in my membership. Our membership is $1.99. It's low. Okay. And I did that intentionally. I don't have any other tiers. I have one tier. It's $1.99. It's the fun zone, basically. We have, I don't know, 24 emojis available, and everybody gets a new banner or a new badge. And it's creative and it's evolving all the time. I change those out consistently. Sometimes during the holidays is a good example. I changed out almost every single one of those emojis for members. I must have picked up, and I think we're right around 600 members. I think we probably picked up an extra 100 because once Halloween came, everything changed throughout the entire holiday season. We're about to hit Easter, and I'm doing it again. So showing your members that you're changing, people love new things. They love it when it's new. And that's a simple thing that you can do. It's all free, whether you use Pexels or you use an AI generator, Midjourney. You can create all that so fast and so easy. It probably takes me to do, I see 24 up there. So I think it takes me maybe 2 hours to do every single one of those.
Right.
Yeah. And now you have a fresh palette all the way around.
That's a wonderful idea. So much so I'm holding myself back from laughing because I expect to take a page out of your book and probably do that on at least the Tuber Chat channel. So thank you for that.
In encouraging everybody to join your membership program, or not so much encouraging, reminding them that you have a membership program. And as soon as you do that, everybody in your channel that's a member will start dropping those special emojis. Now, I tweak it a little bit too because I have the floating emotes. When we are in a non-emergency or eruptive time where we can take a breath and it's a little bit more relaxed, I have some pages, my live streams. When you do the emojis, they float all over the screen for fun. And then you see at a large customized emoji that you can only get by being a member, $1.99 is not too far off. People love it.
Wow, that's gold. Thank you for this. All right, we're just about back, and earlier Mona Did What, who's been a long time friend of ours, dropped a couple of super chats so that we would look at other channels. We already saw Scratch and Pete PA today, but I wanted to put him up for a quick second because it's a generous thing to have done. I missed his premiere today. I try never to miss them, but I missed that one. And so I've got his video on my catch-up playlist now, and I will catch up with that afterwards. He pits 2 lottery tickets against each other and then lets us vote on which, what we want to see in the next week's video. On the other social networks, Instagram, X, and Facebook, he's got shorts on the channel from a trip he took to Italy, which feature lottery tickets and a great look around all the different areas he visited, as well as a live stream, his first ever. So I hope everybody will connect with Scratch and Pete PA. And he's known as a shining jewel in the Superchat family, like all of our moderators. One of the most supportive creators that I've met in my YouTube journey. The Stock Explorer Nora fits that same description. Somebody who cares very deeply about the YouTube journey, those of us in the Superchat family, and their own community as well. Geek Culture 101, good to see you in the house. And then we're moving a little bit faster now. But I've got Geek Culture 101 getting onto the wheel, and I've removed a lot of names from the wheel now. Pardon me, I hadn't done that earlier, but I do that over the course of the stream because we can't get to every single channel. That gives us the chance to get to a few channels we might not have otherwise seen. And yes, Pete is definitely a loyal and great supporter. Thank you again, Mona Did What. We're going to look at her channel in a second here. The Stock Explorer is up on the screen. This is Nora, and they are talking about the stock markets and a little bit of crypto. They talk about that in a level-headed and down-to-earth way. They've got a lot of variety on the channel, often with product in hand. And then they've got a new series as well. They've really expanded the content over the last couple of years. So on top of talking about stocks and crypto, they also talk about lottery ticket scratching, and they do a lot of lottery ticket scratching in this series with strangers. They literally meet people for the first time, scratch lottery tickets with them, and they've got a lot of interesting stories that come along with that, as you can imagine. Like I said, product in hand in a lot of the videos, but they've added a lot of variety over the last couple of years. The Stock Explorer has been with us for like 4.5 years now. Nora also has got some shorts that have done really well, getting into 3,000, 4,000, and even 13,000 views on one of them. It still gets views. Nora is monetized, lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there, and live streams are frequent. So once in a while, it's Nora just giving us a chance to hang out and get to know her. Sometimes she's got StreamYard panels. I've joined her on her channel for a couple of hours once. We talked about YouTube for a while. She's often got panels. Sometimes there are charts and graphs to see, and a lot of lottery ticket scratch battling with other creators. Those can be very fast-paced, very high energy, and quite exciting, to be honest with you. The Stock Explorer is working on 2,400 subscribers, and when we look at her front page, she's got a second channel called Tropical Buzz, and this is where Nora seeks to educate us about plant life, some of which is already there, some of which they're growing themselves. They happen to be in Florida, and they've got a couple of recent videos over the last month as well. They're working on 300 subscribers over here, and they've got some shorts. These have gotten into 600 and even 700 views and beyond. So hopefully everybody will connect with Nora on both of these channels. And then Mona Did What? Thank you again for those super chats. She did one more for Debes the Pug Mama Quilter and gifted a membership. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. And then we'll get back to spinning the wheel in another couple of moments here. I'm just looking at the chat and I see Scratch and PPA caught a question that I missed. And New Horizons Above and Beyond is just asking, how do you use the copyright-free music from the copyright-free channel? So in the description of most of the songs, and I really have to clean everything up over there, I haven't been able to find the time. There's MP3 links. So you can simply just get that link and download it right out of Dropbox. Easy stuff. Otherwise, that music's available on all major music platforms. So it's on iTunes, it's on Deezer, it's on Spotify, it's on Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Google Music, and everywhere else. So wherever you use music, and especially if you know how to steal it, just go ahead and steal it. Otherwise, it's there and available literally everywhere. It's available when you're making Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, and everything else as well. So hopefully that's helpful. Like I said, one of these days I'll get them cleaned up so that all of the songs have MP3 links. There's 60 songs over there right now. And otherwise you can grab them from the other services. And then, thank you for the question, by the way. When we look at the screen, we see that Debes the Pug Mama Quilter is up here, and she's obviously a friend of Mona Did What. When we look at what a lot of our friends are doing when it comes to quilting, I often say you don't even have to own a quilt to understand how much work goes into this stuff, just looking at them. I saw a group of creators the other day, and if I understand right, and forgive me if I'm wrong, I believe they're all crocheting. And then what they're doing is they're sending squares to each other so that they can all make quilts out of all the different squares they got from all of their YouTube friends. And I think that is really, really, really cool. And Debes the Pug Mama Quilter is giving us a lot of traditional quilt making. Mona Did What does Mona Did What does much of the same. And we're going to look at her channel in a second here, and then live streams on the channel as well. So Debes the Pug Mama Quilter has got lots of friends. We can see that, and will likely be coming up in a StreamYard panel similar to this. She's got a couple of these set up, one for what must be Friday, and then one for Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And hopefully everybody will connect with Debes the Pug Mama Quilter and push her towards the 400 subscribers she's thinking about. She's obviously had great impact on our dear friend Mona Did What. And Debes the Pug Mama Quilter has been in here many times before. She's been a friend of ours for months now. So thank you again, Mona Did What. She dropped a handful of super chats there and a gifted membership, and I really do appreciate all that extra generous support. Absolutely unnecessary, but always appreciated. Mona Did What's been a dear friend from just about the beginning of Superchatters. She's been with us at least 3 years, if not 4, probably closer to 4.5 by now. She's got over 8,000 subscribers, which is no surprise. You know, I see of channels of this size that there must be much to be learned from them, as well as entertained and inspired by, because of what they must have already been through in their YouTube journey to get to a level of that size. Lil Yesty, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And then Mona Did What is monetized. Lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. She's got a different kind of video here. This one's a little bit shorter. We want to be connecting with videos that are 3 minutes or longer, but she's got plenty of videos on her channel. 822, as a matter of fact, including shorts and then live streams. And you'll find Mona having a lot of fun on the channel. Like I said, this is a truly dynamic creator. Some winter weather there in the shorts as well. 5,000, 7,000, almost 8,000, and one over 10,000 views. What took me away, or what I was taken away with Mona's channel in the very beginning, is the idea that she will talk to us about some of the mistakes we can make when we're quilting, how to avoid them, but most importantly, how to fix them. And somebody like myself who's not done any actual quilting, I did the small amount of sewing when we used to have home economics class through my 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We made a few different things, but nothing as elaborate as a quilt. But I'm impressed with the different equipment and the technology that's come out over the last many years. And Debes the Pug Mama Quilter shows us this as well. There's Mona right there doing exactly what she does. And when you go through some of her content, though, you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. Avoiding those mistakes, fixing those mistakes. And already, like I keep mentioning, the idea of these quilts is quite a bit of work. I think she's updated her banner to match these new looks on her thumbnails and everything recently, which is cool to see. And hopefully everybody will connect with Mona Did What. We want to push her towards the now 9,000 subscribers she's going to be thinking about. Troy Sutton, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Bigfoot Dwarf is still here. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I am Betty J. Gathers is here. Hadgeways has come in. He brings us travel. Pardon me for 1 second. I'm in the background here choking on nothing at all. And then Rambling with the Brooms. Good to see you in the house. He and I am Betty J. Gathers are both beloved and dedicated moderators and members here. And Mona did what? Thank you for the extra generosity again. And then Wayne's World Unlimited is coming up next. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. Yeah, Hilda DC, don't make me lie to you and tell you I'm drinking water when I'm clearly not. But Wayne's World Unlimited and Hilda DC both dropped super chats, so thank you both for that. Hilda, forgive me, I don't know if I actually said thank you yet. I try to remember to thank everybody at least once. But Wayne's World Unlimited is a creator that comes to us from the UK, so he is early to bed, early to rise. He slipped in here quickly for a second, dropped a super chat. He's done that kind of thing countless times before. Wayne's World Unlimited brings pure variety, but a lot of outdoor, content, walk and talks, and stories to be told along the way. This creator's had some success with shorts, where a lot of it is variety and that outdoor content, but some of the more recent ones have gotten into 10,000 views and beyond, one at 13,000, one at almost 250,000 views, which is great to see. And then live streams on his channel as well. He's experimented with one, and we'll see if he's going to start that as a series. He's over 900 subscribers now, and I said it before, but every time we hit a 100 milestone, we say you're officially on the road to the next. And that puts him officially on the road to 1K, so that's very exciting. And Jesse Journals and Unboxes, good to see you here. Thank you for coming in, and hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Jesse Journals and Unboxes, there's something up where her channel does not show up ever on my Streamlabs system, and I don't know why that is. This is a statistics page in the background of Streamlabs where you get to see how active everybody's been in the chat. Not just how long you're here, but somehow it arbitrarily figures out or makes an arbitrary calculation, if that makes sense, about how active you've been in the chat. And then Rushing Wind Mountain, for instance, I'll add you to the wheel right now. This is how I add names to the wheel over the course of the stream. And I noticed a few weeks ago that Jesse Journals and Unboxings is often, if not always, not showing up there. So I don't know what's up with that, but I got to try to keep it in mind. And then Rambling with the Brooms has been added to the wheel. Hilda DC is coming up next. Hopefully everybody will connect with Wayne's World Unlimited. He's another longtime friend, and obviously a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. And then Hilda DC is coming up right now. She's been with us from the beginning as well, a beloved and dedicated moderator here. She's known as one of the most encouraging creators that I've met in my YouTube journey. Literally, when you go through her content, there are positive affirmations from the creator herself, special effects on the screen. She even gets Nightbot on the case. She's somebody who absolutely stands behind and beside her audience and her own community, and those of us in the Tuber Chat family as well. She's done a bit of different content on her channel. She's done a lot of happy dances, eating mukbang style taste test challenges, a lot of comparisons and food reviews, let's just say, and she does a lot of cooking videos as well. It's always interesting to somebody like me because she, being American, is able to bring 10 times, somewhere between 5 to 10 times, the different flavors and products when it comes to all these delicious looking things on her channel, more so than what we get in Canada. Only 10 or 20% of the stuff ever seems to make it over here. You know, something like vitamin water, let's just say, which I was like amazed with when it first came out. We didn't get it for like a year. A friend of mine was bringing that stuff across the border. It's the only reason I knew of it. And I'm not so crazy about it now because I've had a million of them, let's just say. But in the beginning, you know, I'm always happy. Like, my whole lifetime, there's been, most of you will know, going through the cash registers in the United States, Orbit gum is always right beside the magazine rack, and we still don't have it in Canada. This is 50 years of no Orbit gum, and I'm sure it doesn't matter to anybody else on the planet, but it's interesting to me when I go to the United States, when I'm lucky enough to go over there, to see all the different things that we don't have, and Hilda DC is able to show us a lot of that. PK Adventure Travels, thank you for coming back in. I've got you back on the wheel. When we look at Hilda DC Shorts videos, we see she's gotten into 2,900, 6,200, 47,000 on one of these, and then live streams on the channel as well. So she's live occasionally lately, but Hilda DC, much like a few creators like Jesse Journals and Unboxes and some others we could probably mention, these are creators who are so supportive to other people that it doesn't matter how long they go in between premieres or live streams. They can go whenever they want, and they will have a flood in their chat, and it speaks to the support that they give to other people. So I hope everybody will connect with Hilda DC, and she is working on 2,600 subscribers. We'd love to push her a little bit closer towards that milestone, and myself and the rest of the moderators will be on her in the background about getting another live stream going soon. And then let's spin the wheel, and we'll get another channel coming up. Thank you again, Hilda DC and Mona Did What, for those super chats. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. So I'll ask my American friends here in the chat to clarify for me. Our understanding in Canada is that you might still be using pennies. And I know less and less people are using cash. I'm a huge fan of cash. I don't want to see the day that cash ends, but we probably will eventually. But in Canada, we stopped making pennies a while back. So we started this rounding up idea at our grocery stores and everywhere else, where if something comes up to, let's say, $8.97, you actually pay $9 for it. And then if it's only 91 cents, you're only paying 90 cents for it. Or, you get what I mean. We haven't had pennies for as long as I can remember. Now, I'm not sure how long they've been making them. But they took them out of our stores and everything a while ago. But that's right, cruising on the high season travel. So it's something to think about, especially when you're out there paying for everything, right? And I remember learning about that when I was a kid. I always took great interest in math and science and finance and things like that. And I remember the teacher saying they're soon going to stop making pennies. And this is decades ago, but they said they'll soon stop making pennies. And my heart sank because I understood right away. I go, wow, that's inflation. That's what that means. Nothing is ever going to cost a penny again. Because when we were children, at least when I was a child, you could go into a variety store or a convenience store, and you could buy like 5 pieces of candy for, you could literally buy things for a penny. Or 5 for a nickel or whatever it is. A little bit, not much. Really tiny stuff, but you know what I mean. But that's true. And eventually, there's no such thing as something that costs a penny. And I'm like, wow, then that means someday there's going to be no such thing as a nickel and no such thing as a dime. Maybe not in my lifetime, but maybe. Things are getting very expensive. And if anybody figures out that my mother used to pay 5 cents for chips, a chocolate bar, or a can of pop, we call it pop in Canada, soda, and figures out that when I was a teenager, I was paying 25 cents for chips, a chocolate bar, or a can of pop. Or if anybody figures out that my son, when he was a teenager, was paying $1.25 for pop, chips, or a chocolate bar, and people realize that this stuff is going up by 5 times per generation, because we can talk all we want about eggs, used to be $4.99 and now they're $7.99. But if you start to look at some of the other things that we buy and realize that inflation is as bad as it is, I don't want to get political, but you know what I mean. We're all feeling it. It is kind of remarkable, to say the least. But that, I am not kidding. And our dollar stores now, we have we get Dollar Tree like our American friends, but we have a franchise in Canada called Dollarama. I don't think it's a franchise, it's a chain, but I think they have 700 stores, maybe more now. They have price tags up to $5, and I'm betting that one of these days they're going to be $9 stuff in there. So there's no such thing as dollar, like the way they used to call 5 and dimes, if I understand right. Still use pennies, says Southern Bell Auctions. Yeah, it can't be long. So, Ben Cyan Games, the idea of memberships, YouTube gives a little bit of help. They actually give you ideas to inspire. The emojis, I know people like to use them in the chat in most cases. So those are worth having. Badges, for sure. You see that I've been changing them up a lot more frequently lately, but we have tulips now. That's what those are supposed to be, to celebrate spring. Oh, I'm clicking things too fast, Tez. Here. Uh-oh. Okay, hopefully I just removed that message, but not anything more. Sorry, I'm clicking all over the place. And then, yeah, I still pick things up if I see them. I don't see pennies anymore, Bigfoot Dwarf, but I do pick up anything that I see for sure. And then Corner Clubhouse Cobalt, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Let me get you onto the wheel. Forgive me, I don't mean to stall here. Rambling with the Brooms is another fellow Canadian. We'll talk about his channel in a second. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Sorry, Hilda. Yeah, I was clicking a couple things there. I must have gone to delete a message and accidentally... Yeah, because you're right beside. I accidentally took your mod off, but that's okay. It's back on now. Stephanie G, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And hopefully I haven't messed anything else up in the chat. It's possible. Rambling with the Brooms is Scott. He's a fellow Canadian closer to our nation's capital. Deputy mayor of his town, as a matter of fact, which is a really interesting thing to know. Definitely an influential creator, and I'll talk more about that in a second. You see that he's bringing us homesteading content. If you're lucky enough, you catch him not only indoors, not only outdoors, but in the sugar shack making maple syrup as well. He's bringing a lot of travel, and he started a separate channel for that. We'll talk about that in a second. What he's doing is collaborating with Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa to put together a cruise that's going to leave in August of this year from Seattle to Alaska for a week. They're trying to book 100 rooms of creators and supporters. When we look at Rambling with the Brooms and his shorts videos, there's a lot of outdoor content here, as well as some famous Canadian winter weather, which brought a lot of views at 3,000 and even almost 8,000 views on one of these. And then live streams on the channel as well. He's live every Thursday and Friday as a minimum. There's an interesting collection of, is that American? Yeah, my vision's not perfect, but I think that's American, where they've got the penny in there in the money collection. Ironic that channel comes up and we see that right away. But you get an idea of the different things that Scott's doing. There's a thumbnail that features a handful of us that got together in Toronto a couple of months ago. Just Jason Keto is there. Kristen Welton, of course, is with me. Brampton Gardner is over there, and Scott himself. And we had a great time meeting up. We hope to do more of those in the future. And then Rambling with the Brooms, like I said, is live Thursdays and Fridays as a minimum. Sometimes he does pop-ups where he takes us on the road, and he always wants to get other creators connected as well. When I put in travel escapes with the Brooms, we're going to see that Scott's got a travel channel now, and he'll bring more content soon, if not sooner than by the time that cruise comes around in August. But right now he's got 300 subscribers. He's working on 400. He's got a few shorts to get us started, a couple videos, including a room review, and we'll look forward to more content from him. He's another beloved and dedicated moderator and member here on the channel. And obviously somebody that wants to connect other people, especially when he finds channels under 100 subscribers. He tries to push them. Next up, we're going to look at a newly monetized channel, Ben Cyan Games. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And again, hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. New Horizons Above and Beyond says they're getting up to $7 in their dollar store. And thank you, Stephanie G. I'm not sure if you're still here. And then when we look at Ben Cyan Games, we see a creator. Now there it is. There's the join button right there. Yes, so officially monetized. Very exciting. And then Ben, just please let us know if you're going to do a specific monetization celebration live stream. And if you want, we'll coordinate. If you want to set one like a week out or a little bit longer, we can, or anytime at all, we can raid in from Tuber Chat if you want to start one after one of our shows. After this week, I'm going to move the times again so we can meet some more of our friends because we have been doing them all at the same time. Even though they're on different days, we're going to move them a little bit later for a week or two. Ben Cyan Games now is working on 4,200 subscribers. He's got a lot of friends. He's been with us for about 4.5 years, but he streams every single day. I'll show you his live streams first, actually. This is the Everywhere Forever-a-thon, 645 days. And there he goes. Yes, accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. We see his join button right there. This is where we can learn about what he's going to do. He's already got his badges. This is perfect. He's got emojis. He's got badges ready to go. And then he's got a few different levels for his memberships. And literally live every day for hours. And then when you look at shorts on his channel, he's got a bit of variety here, some talking head videos. One of these has done really well. 500,000 views on this bar chart race. I saw a lot of those when I started on YouTube. I find them mesmerizing. And then videos as well. He's done quite a few of these. I'm just going to grab his latest membership introduction video and put that into my catch-up list. That'll give me a chance to keep caught up with him. Dark Swordsman Gaming's dropping a super chat. Thank you for that. They've done that countless times before. They come from the UK. They bring us video gameplay. We're going to look at their channel next. I'm going to get it ready to go. Right now, we're just going to take another break. We'll go for 3.5 minutes. Right before we do that, I'm going to play another clip from our interview series from another friend from the UK. Keep in mind, all of the people featured in our interview series have all long passed their 10,000 subscribers. Well, thank you for that. So it's interesting that we're talking about shorts already. We've got a lot to go over today. But since you've mentioned it, that's one thing that I was planning to ask is the idea that you can give us regardless of, like, you know, a lot of people are going to have different opinions about whether shorts are helpful. Some creators have broken off into separate shorts channels and things like this. But in your experience, now going through what you have with shorts, what advice can you give to somebody just in the beginnings of their YouTube journey before their 10,000 subscribers so that they can have the best chance of making shorts work for them as opposed to against them?
So ultimately, you've got to have a passion in what you're doing. There's no point in, say, I'm going to do videos on fixing cars when you have no idea on how to fix cars.
Yes.
Okay. I am more shocked at what people are willing to sit there and watch than actually do it. I did over the Christmas period. I was given a huge model to build, and I live streamed it. It's not quite finished yet. I've still got another day on it, so it'll be another like 8 years. So I was basically doing 4 to 6 hour live streams of building this kit, and people were turning up every day, having me in their background or in the background, watching me and listening to me while I was effing and jeffing at this kit. You know what I mean? And if they've got a passion for what you're doing, they're more likely going to watch that passion from you and push. So if you are going to set up a YouTube channel today, if your passion is walking, record it. But make sure that you you envelop and make sure that what you're saying and what you put in the video is aimed at the audience. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I do a YouTube video, I don't think I'm talking to 50,000 viewers.
Yes.
I'm talking to one person.
Right.
So if you create a video of your passion, make it personal that you're talking to that one person that's watching you. If you see what I mean, you are just talking to one person. So create the video for your best friend. So he's going to say, and people will become endowed by that. They'll listen to that because you'll be like their friend as well. So that's my one tip, I think, is to make sure that you make the videos not personal in your life, personal about what's on the footage,
yes,
and that you're making that video for your best friend.
Right. That's great advice too.
Yeah.
Each person, yes, is looking through their own set of eyes, regardless of who they're with.
Yeah.
All right, we're just about back. We're looking at Dark Swordsman Gaming, and this is a friend from the UK who brings us video gameplay. They're doing something interesting on their channel right now, where each different type of game or game title is getting a different colored border around its thumbnails. And this is a cool idea because what will happen is when somebody goes to the channel, they'll know right away what other videos they probably want to watch. If there's somebody who likes Dark Souls, they'll hit those yellow ones. If they like Final Fantasy, they'll hit these red ones. And it goes on and on through the channel. So regardless of things like playlists, that can be very helpful as well. This is another way that they can entice people to watch different, or binge watch different videos, because they've got different games on their channel between all the different gameplay, if that makes sense. So hopefully everybody will connect with Dark Swordsman Gaming. They're working on 300 subscribers right now. We'd love to push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. They post frequently. They've just started with one short video for now. We'll see if they're going to bring out some more. Lots of live streaming though, so they're live almost every, well, I would say every day, but every other day, or at least a few times a week. So hopefully everybody will connect with them. I'm going to grab their latest live stream replay, and I'm going to put that in my catch-up list as well. I'm going to show everybody something for a quick second here. So I'll show you this catch-up playlist that I keep talking about, and when I go through this, you can see I've got a lot of videos here that I've already watched. I went back for a couple of comments, so I got to fix the red lines. I'll just rerun them. But the newest stuff, I just didn't clean it out. The newest stuff from today, starting with Native Wildman, Cricket Cinema, and a few other channels. What I always do is I move these. You can do this on a phone or a computer, but you can reorder them. I missed Pete's premiere today. And what this allows is when I have a half an hour, that I can actually sit there and watch videos, then I'm watching the maximum number. I can easily get through 20 videos in an hour because all the 3, 4, and 5 minute ones are at the beginning. And then later on, when I get down to the bottom, I'll put the live stream replays or the really extended videos down there, and those could just run out. You know what I mean? I'm sure everybody runs more videos than they watch in a lot of cases, and I'm sure everybody understands that about each other as well. And then yeah, Dark Swordsman Gaming, my recommendation when it comes to shorts is to put out 100 of them, like to plan to put out 100. I know it's a lot, but if you're going to do like even 2 a week, it'll take a year, and then see how you feel about them. But we have to put out dozens to even get a chance at the algorithm pushing us out. You hear it in the stories that I tell. And just for the sake of saying, I love gaming. I don't make enough time in my life for it. Grand Theft Auto is obviously my thing, but I have a lot of different games that I like. If I was going to do a gaming channel, what I would do is I would live stream or drop videos. Then I would take the highlights, usually, you know, in games like Grand Theft Auto, people are smashing and getting killed and everything else. I would take those and put them up as shorts. And it's not too difficult to edit them. There's systems that'll do it for you now, like Opus Clip, and I think you could do it with CapCut, I'm not sure. But these are just examples of ideas that eventually they will start to move. But we have to do a lot before we get a feeling for it. But that's just my opinion. I know it's a lot of work, and we just have to do what we can handle and not definitely burn out over anything. Let me spin the wheel here. I'll get Dark Swordsman Gaming back on the screen for a quick second. But you get what I'm talking about. You know, these video games lend themselves to shorts perfectly. A gaming channel is a great type of channel when it comes to the idea of live streaming videos and shorts all together, because all of the content on the channel is enjoyable or potentially enjoyable to every viewer, right? Whereas, let's say in a homesteading channel, most people who are going to subscribe to a homesteading channel, my imagination tells me, are expecting the mix of indoor content, recipes, growing our own food, you know, landscaping and maintenance and home renovation and all the different things our homesteading friends bring. But it's very possible for somebody to say, well, I like their content, but I'm really just here for the recipes. Or I like their content, but I'm really just here for the outdoor gardening. Let's just say. I'm not saying I'm right. Maybe it's ridiculous what I'm saying without putting any thought into it. But a video game channel is a different story, in my opinion, because we don't have a separation from the shorts to the live streams to the videos where somebody could say, oh, I like one, but I don't like the others, because all the content is so tight-knit, if that makes any sense. Surviving Together, good to see you here. And then, yeah, Stardew Valley. I could be wrong about that, but I learned about it from your channel. But I aspire someday. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but I aspire someday to put out some more games on the App Store. I've put out some real like awful stuff as reskins and this and that. That was many years ago, but I aspire to put out some new stuff. So I'm very much interested in the business of gaming, let's just say, and the monetization of them and everything else. And Stardew Valley was something I believe I noticed on your channel, and after I started seeing it a few times, I started to ask around or look around and found that that might be the most popular independent game of all time, with the exception of something like Minecraft. I don't know the truth about that story. I heard Minecraft was made by one guy who sold it to Microsoft for like hundreds of millions of dollars or something like that. I could be wrong. But either way, I'm interested to know. And Stardew Valley reminds me of Legend of Zelda. I was there when Nintendo and stuff came out. I never had an Atari, but I bought myself a Nintendo when I was 15 years old, and I did landscaping for an entire summer. I was so happy and proud and all the other things you are 15 years old, buying my own very expensive at the time thing. Because I literally worked for that, and I enjoyed it. I beat the ever-living life out of that thing, as you can imagine. But I did love Legend of Zelda as much as everybody else. P&J's Homestead Adventure up on the screen right now is going to bring us all the things we expect from a homesteading channel. This is Paula and Jason. They're dear friends of ours now. They've been with us for at least a year, but I think it's much longer. So this is going to be interesting. They're doing their own bird feed idea here, so I haven't seen anything like that. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. I learn a lot from our homesteading friends because I'm much more of an indoor guy. My place is surrounded by drywall and steel and concrete and glass and in front of 3 computer screens, and God forbid I don't have an internet connection for 5 minutes, I go into a frenzy. But our homesteading friends show us a different lot of aspects of life, as a matter of fact, and Paul and Jason do the same thing. They bring us into their home, they show us some cooking videos, they do a lot of collaborating with other creators, and then they bring us outdoors, of course, for most of their content. Shorts included. These have gotten into 2200, 2600 and beyond, and then when we look at live streams, we see that they've experimented with this. We'll see if they're going to bring some more. We've got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other as possible as well. I think one of our moderators accidentally deleted your message there, Tim Mitchell, but it's good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming back in. And then hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. PK Adventure Travels is coming up. Vintage Style by Joe is still here. I'm going to put you back on the wheel. I removed a couple of names the last time we went on a break there, and I'll get Tim Mitchell added there. And I know he's usually wanting to promote the Munchie Mafia channel, so I'll keep that in mind. And then we're looking at PK Adventure Travels. So this is this the one? I'll see in a second here when I put the thing up. Oh, I thought I just watched one of your videos. Okay, maybe I'm mistaken. I was about to make a mistake on one of the videos that I watched, but that's okay. PK Adventure Travels is doing a fantastic job when it comes to bringing us things like cruise ship tours, the room reviews and excursions and amenities that are going to come along with that. And they do a really thorough job when they're talking travel of any kind. So they got some members only content because they're monetized on the channel as well, which is great to see. They've got a few premieres coming up, and it looks like, yeah, one of them's in a few days. And then Ryan has a series here where he's doing interesting cruising stories. And I find it to be somewhat comical. You don't wish bad on people, but the stories that he's come up with here kind of make your heart drop a little bit, and you can't do anything but laugh to get through the thought. But he's doing a great job with those. They have a lot of fun on the channel. They really do vlogging in its truest sense. So I hope everybody will check out PK Adventure Travels for that reason. They're working on 1,100 subscribers. They're getting pretty close. When we get to shorts on this channel, they've gotten into 10,000 views on a couple of these, one at 12,000, which is great to see. And then more travel-based content. Obviously, when we get into live streams, we see that they're live every single week. So I caught them the other day, I guess. I'm hoping I can catch them again. I got to make sure I've got all the notifications on for all of these. They send these out, or set these out far in advance. So you can see they've got the whole month of April ready to go. And they're going to be live tomorrow. So it's every Wednesday. And hopefully I'll catch that one as well. Pardon me for 1 second here. Starting to use Siri more and more. I'm trying to get myself into the iOS 18 because I'm an iPhone guy and a Mac guy, as you can see. I'm trying to start using the Apple Calendar and reminders and notes the way they're supposed to be used. They never really integrated the way that they do now, but they've put some tight-knit integration into that stuff, and I'm trying to get more away from my pen and paper onto the phone and everything else. And the reason why I say that, just to show you, this is not all of them, but I started this years ago. Look at the stack of notebooks that I've got. That's not including the one I'm using now. I use 2 of those notebooks per year. And those are just dollar store notebooks, right? I just like a simple page. I put the date at the top and then whatever comes up that day. But my gosh, when I have to go and look for something, it is becoming quite an ordeal. So I'm trying to digitize all that stuff. Lewis Acre Farm Karma, good to see you in the house. We're going to look at Geek Culture 101. I just set a reminder for PK Adventures Travel live stream tomorrow. Hopefully I'll catch you for that. There's Jody Genealogy. We saw her channel earlier. Mona Did What? Dropped a super chat for her. And then thank you, Just Chasing Keto. He's working today. I always appreciate every moment everybody can spend. I know not everybody can be here for every stream, and certainly not for 3 hours, but we got friends that run the stream in the background or listen while they drive, or friends that just come by to say hello and drop a thumbs up, and I appreciate all of those things as well. I'm going to start moving it. It's time for me to start dropping the link, though, also for our copyright-free music stream, which is going to be coming up. And what we'll do is we'll go over there for an hour after Tuber Chat. And this is all the same music that you hear in the background here. And we've got this like virtual nightclub live stream going on where everybody has fun and you can continue to meet each other in the chat. That's really the point of it. But we get a video game going and we're playing games like slots and roulette over there and everybody can participate and it's a lot of fun. So I just dropped a link for that. I'm going to pin it as well so everybody can get to it easily, and we'll hope everybody will come over there. I'll leave Tuber Chat running for an extra 3 minutes when it's time to go over there. But we still got another 15 minutes from now. Geek Culture 101 is up on the screen. All things geek and pop culture they're going to talk about. They've got a few new videos here. I'm going to put the latest one in my catch-up list. That will give me a chance to keep caught up with them. They're working on 900 subscribers right now. They're halfway on that road. And then when we look at their shorts videos, we see that some of these have started to move, 400, getting close to 500 views, and then live streams on the channel. They've got a Star Trek live stream coming up also on Thursday, so we'll be looking forward to that. And you can see all the different video gameplay and ideas that they've got going on here. So my flock... Oh, My Flock is Everywhere. Yes, is very cool that you're going to be collaborating with them. Another friend of ours, I see their handle in the title here. So Geek Culture 101 is here with us regularly, and then they've got a second channel as well. And let me get the URL for this corrected. And this is Martial Arts Reflections. And then this is where they're going to bring us A lot of motivation and inspiration. It looks like they're getting into a lot of music lately as well. So I'll put the latest video on my catch-up list so that I can catch up with them. And then shorts on their channel have gotten into now 500 views, 900 views, almost 1,000 on that one, which is great to see. So hopefully everybody will connect with Geek Culture 101. Obviously another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. Braylon Lee is here. Home Bartending with John is in the house. I'm going to get them both on the wheel. We always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. I am Betty J. Gathers is a member and a moderator. We're going to look at her channel right now.
For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like.
When we look at I Am Betty J. Gathers, we see somebody who's here as a member and a moderator. Like I said, she's been with us from the beginning. She is basically living her best life over 60, but all of her content can relate to anybody. That's what I've found. She's done a lot of vlogging on her channel, giving us a true look into her home, into her life. She takes us out on the road as well for different adventures. Obviously, a dynamic host. She's always laughing, always having a good time. She's inspiring as well as motivating. When we look at her shorts videos, we see that there's a lot of variety here, but she's done really well with a lot of these, getting up to 10,000 views just in talking head videos. Then she's got a few extras here that have gotten into 13,000 and 15,000, and she's got some newer content coming up now. Politically charged, I might say, apparently, and then live streams on the channel. So she's got lots of different subjects. She often talks about healthy eating, healthy living. Intermittent fasting is something she's brought up. Crystal Sparkle, another dear friend, challenged her to do 12 days of interviews over the Christmas series. I was honored to have been a part of that. We talked in depth about our friendship. We talked about moderators and the YouTube journey, and I got a chance to really tell a couple of stories there and have a good time with I Am Betty J. Gathers. She's got lots of friends in the chat. Trish the Natural was here with us earlier. They've often been together, and she's interviewed a lot of our friends, and they always have compelling conversations, if that makes any sense. And then I Am Betty J. Gathers is working on 2,900 subscribers. I'm hoping we can push her a little bit farther towards that milestone. She's monetized, lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get over there. I'm trying to rush through channels now so that we can get through as many as we can in the next 10 minutes or so. I'll drop the link for our copyright-free music stream in a second again.
If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course.
And then Braylon Lee is somebody brand new to Superchat. They've just been with us a few times now. It's a channel I'm still getting to know. And they're working on 2,900 subscribers, though, so they're already doing well. And it looks to me like what they're doing on the channel is adding commentary into a lot of reality television. And you'll have to forgive me if I'm mistaken, but that seems to be what I've caught so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a different kind of video, and I'm going to put this into my catch-up list, and that will give me a chance to watch another piece of content. One of the things I like about putting channels on the screen here in Superchat is that over time I get to know the channels over weeks and months by hanging out in premieres and live streams and watching videos. I get to know the content on the channel. And then Braylon Lee as well has got some shorts over here, and these have gotten into 500, one of them at 800, almost 900 views. A lot of variety here. And then live streams on the channel as well. So they've got one coming up. They just did one yesterday, or a couple actually, and then I caught them it might have been yesterday as well. They're posting multiple times a day. This is where I get the idea. Yeah, so they're talking about reality television, but adding some commentary. We've got a couple channels that do that now. And then Braylon Lee is working on 2,900 subscribers, so I'm hoping we can push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. We'll spin the wheel.
If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone.
When we look at Home Bartending with John, we see a creator that's got two different one-of-a-kind channels here in the Superchat family. What John seeks to do here is teach us how to make some of the world's most popular cocktails from the comfort of our own home. We don't have to have a home bar setup quite as elaborate as what he's got going on here, but he does show us what it takes to keep a bar like his replenished and some of the tools we're going to need behind the bar to make some of our favorite cocktails. He also gives us variations in those recipes and might show us 2 or 3 different ways to make a different some of the different cocktails. And then he takes requests on his channel as well, which he's done a couple of times for me already, which I'm grateful for. Norfolk Dashcam, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. I know that's a channel that's doing really well. That's a perfect example of a channel that started out with a lot of dashcam footage and just grinded out videos over and over and over again, because dashcam footage can be a bit of a tough thing when you're starting out, especially on your own. I've recorded a lot of dashcam footage but not put it up because nothing's happening. But then when you start to get a couple of things that are going to happen and get some reaction and engagement, then your channel's really going to fly. So Norfolk Dashcam is doing really well. And it's great to see you here in the chat again. Pardon me, they've been a friend of ours for years. Home Bartending with John is going to do a lot of product reviews on his channel as well. Beers, liquors, liqueurs. He might do comparisons to give us an idea of what might be our favorites. And then as well, he might do collections of cocktails together, like low-calorie cocktails or non-alcoholic mocktails. And hopefully everybody will enjoy that. I'm sure you will. He's got some shorts on the channel as well. And these have now gotten into 1,600, 2,700, 9,200 views and beyond. And then he's got live streams as an idea from the past. We'll see if he's going to bring those back. And then if I look for The Pipe Guy, we got to get the spelling on this right, and I'll put the handle in the chat for everybody. This is where he's bringing industrial pipe lamps and industrial pipe art. I hadn't seen anything like this before, but Home Bartending with John, like I said, this is a second one-of-a-kind channel. He's got a Star Wars themed video to get the channel going, and he's working on his first 100 subscribers. I'm hoping we can push him a little bit farther towards that milestone as well, if I'm saying that right. And Tim Mitchell's coming up right now. This creator actually is going to be hoping for us to promote another channel. We'll do that in a second.
If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuberchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around.
Let me get him from his link for now, and I'll put the handle in the chat so everybody... Actually, I'll just put the link in the chat to make it easy. And this creator is brand new in the Tuberchat family. They've just been with us a couple times now. 27 subscribers. They've got a couple of videos here, a short to get started with. We'd love to push them towards their first 100 subscribers, but they're actually wanting us to promote another channel. And I can't remember the exact name, but it'll come to me after I see it a few more times. Cooking with the Munchie Mafia crew, I think. There it is. Oh, Cooking with the Munchie Mafia Official. That's it. And this is another channel, and they were in here as well. The last stream, they've got a membership also. We always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. When we look at Cooking with the Munchie Mafia Official, they got 364 subscribers right now, so we'd love to push them towards that first 100. And then this is a channel I'm still getting to know. So when I look through their videos, I see that they've got a couple of newer ones here. I'm just going to grab one of the latest ones. Stop boiling your corned beef, they say. I got to see that video. I do like corned beef as much as anybody else, but I want to see what they had to say. And then taco pizza looks like something else with avocados on it. That's interesting. So they've obviously got some delicious looking content on the channel. I'm looking forward to seeing more. Shorts over here have gotten into 600 views almost on a couple of these, which is great to see. And there's quite a bit of variety in the different dishes and things that they're making here. And then Chef Sivi, if I'm pronouncing that right. We'll see what they've got going on their About section. I'll leave it to you to read that when you get over there. They've gotten into live streams as well, even up to yesterday. So hopefully we'll catch them for one of those. I got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other as possible as well.
If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share.
So Handicapped Travelers is dropping a super chat so that we will look at Rushing Wind Mountain. It's a generous thing to have done, and I certainly appreciate that. I bet that they will as well. Rushing Wind Mountain's been a friend of ours from the beginning, about 4 to 4.5 years now, and they come from the Pacific Northwest. They bring us nature and wildlife videos. See, they've got a brand new one. I'm going to put that into my catch-up list. They put that out yesterday. And when we look through their videos, you get an idea of some of the variety here. We often mention ASMR, just that these videos are in the same ballpark with pleasing audio and pleasing visuals. When we get into shorts, some of the more popular ones you're going to find some humorous moments in, because this is where we see a lot of the wildlife on the channel. And a couple of these have gotten into 12,000, even 16,000 views. Rushing Wind Mountain, of course, is monetize. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. You can see they're mentioning nature videos here. They got more information about what we can expect. They've experimented a lot with live streams, both vertical and horizontal. They bring us more pleasing audio, pleasing visuals. Some of these are loops. They've got a couple of fireplace videos that'll be popular, obviously, in the winter seasons and things like that. And hopefully everybody will connect with Rushing Wind Mountain. The creator is Ruby. She's often mentioned by name in a lot of different people's chats because she's so supportive to other creators. And thank you, Handicapped Travelers, for giving us a chance to look at them right away. It's a generous thing to have done. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. And then we'll get back to spinning the wheel in a moment. Pardon me, Corner Clubhouse Cobalt, just please let me know if you're still listening. And Handicapped Travelers is going to bring us some spiritual inspiration, along with a bit of, I would consider, almost homesteading content. They bring us into their home for a few cooking videos. And then they also bring us a lot of travel from a certain perspective. As you can imagine, when you look at their About section, you get an idea of what I'm talking about. They got shorts on their channel, and these have now gotten into 2,600 views and beyond. Some winter weather there. Snow always means viewers. And then live streams on the channel as well. So they got one coming up in a few days. On Friday at 6 p.m., they're going to have one. I think we're going to crash right into you that day, if I'm not mistaken. Or it'll be right after Tuber Chat. I think it might be right after our music stream. And we're going to go over to that channel, actually, in just a few minutes here. It's already running, but it's like a virtual nightclub over there with all our copyright-free music. Anybody can hop over there any second now if you'd like to. Handicapped Travelers has another channel called Sir Dank for Jesus. And this is where we're going to get some... if I could spell properly. This is where we're going to get some spiritual inspiration is what I meant to say. Why am I not spelling it right? Oh my dear goodness. Oh yeah, I'm misspelling it, that's why. Here it comes. So Dank for Jesus. When we look at this channel, they're working on 100 subscribers. They're really, really close. They're putting out videos very frequently. Every couple of days, I'm putting the latest one into my catch-up list. You get an idea of the spiritual inspiration they're bringing us. Just the thumbnails tell the story on this channel, along with the avatar, of course. So hopefully everybody will connect with Sir Dank for Jesus and Handicapped Travelers. And then I'm going to spin the wheel. We'll get another channel ready to go. Mel Runs Things. Did we look at your channel today? Sometimes I remove names from the wheel if I haven't seen somebody in a while, but I may have removed your name and not realized you were still here. So I've got you back on the wheel right now. I know you said you're going, but just in case you got another moment. And the music channel is running. I meant to put a stall on it, but it's okay. It's going right now, and maybe I'll show it to everybody for a second. You can see what on earth I'm talking about here. So you see it's like a little virtual nightclub there. Forgive me, I didn't hook up the video game, but it's coming right now. There's a few people over there already, and this gives us a chance to just hang out and continue to meet each other. And then the video game will pop on in a second, and everybody can participate in the chat. There's commands that you use to get the characters in the video game to do a few things, but it's a lot of fun over there, and that'll start up in a second. The channel's already running and the stream's already running. Little red big smile, good to see you here. And they're here for the first time, been very engaged in the chat, for which I'm grateful today. But it's a brand new channel. I don't watch videos or subscribe while I live stream, but what I'm going to do is take one of your latest videos. I'm going to put this into my watch later list, and what that will allow me to do is, after the live stream today, I'll go through my watch later list and I'll watch your video in full. I'll leave a meaningful, genuine comment related to the content of that video. I'll give you a thumbs up, subscribe, and put your notification bell on like I do for all creators. That should make our connection stick, and then hopefully you have our notification bell on as well, so you don't miss our further live streams. We're usually here at least 3 times a week. We mix up the days and times so that we can meet different creators from around the world in different time zones. And then Mel Runs Things is up on the screen right now. This is a channel I'm still getting to know, living over 50, bringing us lifestyle, family, cooking, as well as fitness and running videos, a bit of variety, and some motivation and inspiration here as well. In the latest few videos, I've got the latest one. I've put that in my catch-up list. They've got 1,700 subscribers. I'm hoping we can push them a little bit farther towards the 1,800 we know they're going to be thinking about. Mel Runs Things has been with us for just about every stream lately for the last couple of months now, I think. And then when we get into shorts videos on this channel, we see more variety, a chance to get to know the creator behind the channel. She's gotten into 2,200 and 2,300 views on a couple of these shorts videos, and then there's more information on her about section, and then a live stream setup as well for a couple of days from now. That'll be Thursday morning, as a matter of fact. I'm in the Eastern time zone, of course, so hopefully everybody will connect with Mel Runs Things. Obviously another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And then thank you so much, Northfolk Dashcam, for the kind words. I really do appreciate that. Like I said, they've been a friend of ours for years, and even though not all of us are able to catch each other all the time, it gets harder as we grow. Some of us are connected on other social networks as well. I enjoy seeing people's Instagram reels and Facebook posts and things like that, and Norfolk Dashcam has been doing a bit of that, so I've been able to see a little bit of what they're doing even when I'm not on YouTube. Just Jason Keto and More is another beloved and dedicated moderator and member here, and all of these creators are some of the most supportive that I've met in my YouTube journey of now 8 years. Just Jason Keto and More is going to talk about healthy eating, healthy living, particularly when it comes to a keto-based diet or lifestyle. He's got hundreds of recipes on his channel, including about 90 or so chawful recipes. He's very known for these. Sometimes he does product reviews, both of things we can consume or things we can use to cook or in the kitchen, let's just say, like this air fryer he did recently. Occasionally he'll take us for an outdoor adventure or unbox a GoPro or something like that to add a little bit of variety to the channel, and he's got a lot of guests that join him as well. There's Kendra from Consume the Goodness. He's got another couple of what now to us are familiar faces, and they join him both in videos and live streams. I'll skip over there right now. He's live every Thursday at 7:30 Eastern with almost perfect consistency. Once once in a while he does something a little bit different, like a cook-along live stream on a different day, where he will bring the sometimes even a dual cam setup. As a matter of fact, live streams can feature Jason himself or him with a guest. Either way, he will have a vibrant community that will engage the chat, especially when we have questions and comments while we're there. And then shorts on his channel as well have now gotten into 6,000, and one of them over 22,000. I've seen that one. It's very entertaining. But there's a hint here about healthy looking grilling shorts as well. So I hope everybody will connect with Just Jason Keto and more. So forgive me, everyone, for the channels that we did not get to today. We've been here for just over 3 hours. We had a bit of a slower beginning, but things really picked up. We're going to change our streams up for the next few, and they'll be at a slightly later time. Easier for more people to get in from different parts of the world and different time zones and things like that. Crystal Dragon Rita, House of Creations, good to see you here. Forgive me for not remembering if you might be here for the very first time or if we've seen you before, but hopefully you're feeling welcome. Our instructions are always in our video description. You've just caught us at the end of this live stream, but we've got another one coming up on our copyright-free music channel, and I put the link in our pinned comment there so everybody can get to it fairly easily. I'll drop it one more time here. And that stream is already running. Everybody can connect for another hour over there. And then Vintage Style by Joe is up on the screen right now. We're going to talk about their content in a second. Henry Leslie, Vermont, good to see you here. Thank you for everybody's patience today, of course. And hopefully everybody will connect with our moderators. I think everybody understands these streams wouldn't be what they are if it wasn't for their help. Sometimes I'm sure it looks... I can make things look easy, but if it wasn't for their help, we wouldn't be able to get through the channels that we do, and it's what keeps this channel growing. Vintage Style by Joe is up on the screen right now. There's another channel I'm still getting to know. They've got plenty of crafty ideas on the channel, and in their About section, they're going to let us know about the different kinds of things that they're going to be working on here, including Etsy, which can be another stream of income. They've got the latest video here from a couple days ago I've put into my catch-up list. They've got some shorts over here with some variety, getting into 2,000 and even 2,600 views. And then they've got live streams on the channel as well. So I caught them yesterday, and hopefully I'll catch you again for another one. She does a great job of keeping up with the chat while she's showing us all the different things she's working on. And working on 2,200 subscribers. So I'm hoping we can push her a little bit farther towards that milestone. We know she's monetized. Lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. So thank you again, everyone, for hanging out. Forgive my quick exit. We will go over to the music channel and check out the after party over here. You get an idea of what's going on. There's everybody in the chat and on the screen, and you saw the slot machine there for a second. It's a lot of fun over there. We'll keep that going for about an hour. And we'll see everybody again in a few days here. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Are you out there grinding day by day? Creating your content, trying to find your way. You're dreaming big, but it's hard to stand. You need a crew who understands the plan. From your first of thousands up to the watch time grind, there's a place where creators come to shine. Join the wave, the movement, the vibe. With Tuber Chat, it's your time to thrive. Are you a small YouTuber looking to connect? Tuber Chat's got your back, come get respect. Grow your channel, get your content seen. With loyalty, badges, and perks so clean. Custom emojis, link drops too. Get featured and join the crew. Tuber Chat is where you belong. Together we rise. Together we're strong. The first 4,000 hours to the rising stars. Tuber Chat takes you far beyond the bars. No more struggling on your own. With the fam around, you're never alone. Exclusive perks for those who believe in the power of connection and what you can achieve. Your channel's your vision, we're here to help it grow. Join Tuber Chat, get in the flow. Are you a small YouTuber looking to connect? Tuber Chat's got your back, come get respect. Grow your channel, get your content seen. With loyalty, badges, and perks so clean. Custom emojis, link drops too. Get featured and join the crew. Tuber Chat is where you belong. Together we rise, together we're strong. You've got the passion, you've got the drive. With Tuber Chat, your channel will thrive. So hit subscribe, join the team. Let's build each other up, live the dream. Are you a small YouTuber looking to connect? Tuber Chat's got your back, come get respect. Grow your channel, get your content seen, with loyalty, badges, and perks so clean. Custom emojis, link drops too. Get featured and join the crew. Tuber Chat is where you belong. Together we rise, together we're strong. So join the ride, it's time to shine. With Tuber Chat, success you'll find. Let's grow together, it's what we do. The future's bright when we rise with you.